Whenever you're ready, buddy.
All right, welcome, boyos and goyos, to the Diamond Dogs Delinquent Mods podcast. This is our fifth podcast, I believe, that we will be doing. Usually we do them on Wednesdays, but we're doing them a little bit later because we wanted to make sure that our boy Shafty came back just in time to make it because he had such valuable input some of the time.
Well,
So, be
mostly none of the
introducing us-
time.
Mostly none of the time. So, in our top left corner, we have Brownie Bites. He's turned into a police officer, apparently, so he'll give you a mustache ride downtown, and you'll like it. In the top middle, you got your Skeezy Geezer. Skeezer, how you doing?
Easy geezer. I love that.
In your top right, you got the loose.
Oh no!
Damn.
I don't know if you guys heard that. He said the loose.
What the fuck, Cooper?
That's it. That's all. That's
Like
all.
you gonna boo me? Fucking boo me?
Stop it.
I'm hurt. I'll give him a second to kind of reconnect, figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, loose is good. And then we got Deja in.
Loose? I like loose.
Your very own podcast commentator,
Shafty.
Mr. Weddy, and then our no cam man, Deja Vroom, aka the hottest dude in the world.
So why the fuck wouldn't you turn your cam on if you're naked? Damn. Show it.
Upex said boo.
Welcome to this work environment.
We have major wind and firestorms coming in Colorado today, so my power just spiked and went out.
Oh.
I'm on my phone recently. I'm on my phone now.
Hey, the caveman did freeze. He is back. The
Yeah.
caveman commentator.
All right. Top right is Lucifer. She's devilly. So go ahead and give her a good round of applause for being devil. And then I'm on my phone, so I don't know who's in the top bottom or the bottom left. So whoever the fuck that is, it's you. It's Shafty. All right. You got the wonderful Shaft napkin. If you got napkins, he will put his shaft in them. So go ahead and give him all your napkins. They'll be nice and crusty when you get them back.
Fuck
If
yeah.
you get
And-
it back.
I apparently just had these on I guess Rona perks of the Rona, I guess.
Prepared to shaft his own napkins. Look at that.
I
In
don't
the
happen to
bottom
have
of
any
the middle.
napkin juice with me, but I'll
You have
find
your
some.
one, your only, your honorable tableware. Your enunciator for today. Have a good day. I will kill you all. And in the bottom right corner, you got Deja Vroom. His camera's off, but I tell you what, his mustache is the most glorious thing you will ever see in your entire life. So be sure to get that camera on.
Off. This mustache is sure on.
Hello.
Come
All
on,
right.
brownie bites.
And that's the end of my introduction. All these are made up on the spot, and I fucking suck at it. So I hope you all enjoy it.
That was great. I'm
Yay!
actually... Can we get another round of applause for the caveman commentator?
Thank you, Weddy. Thank you, Tickleware. All right,
Alright,
boys.
Let's get into it. Let's start. I'm
my
ready.
computer's
I'm
back
ready
on,
for
so
it.
just give me a second.
I'm ready. Oh
Oh,
no.
bye, Felicia.
So before the
right.
podcast, did you want to dive into something, Lauren?
No, I want to hear. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm ready to hear Brown's
Oh,
dream.
Oh yeah, the dream.
What I'm ready for.
my dream.
Ready to hear.
You ready to hear this
verbatim,
shit?
word for word, what you wrote down. Also, let me see your handwriting. That
Yeah.
tells a lot about a
It's
person.
right there.
Oh wow.
Okay. Well,
All right,
so,
people. Let's start
so,
by
wait,
getting
let's
advanced.
wait.
God, we
let's
got to hand
describe
out
what's
checks
happening.
today too.
Let's describe what's happening. So, a couple of weeks ago, Lauren said, if you have a dream, write it down in a notebook or just memorize it so you could bring it onto the podcast, and we'll tell you what we'll think about it. So that's kind of what Brownie's doing, just telling us his dream, and we'll go from there. So whenever you're ready, Brownie.
Oh yeah. Let me. There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
All
It's
right, this
beautiful.
is how it goes right here, right. Started at the Exorcist house, right, to see it as an attraction. Outside, sorry, I don't know what the fuck that means. Outside, looking in blinds would move. Figures move in the blindness window. This is 2 a.m. writing. Don't know exactly what it means. Probably just didn't write it right. Cameras with lasers pick up movement in the house and show where the ghost is inside was looking out of. As we approached the house, the blinds on the right window beside the door moved to the right like they were touched by a ghost. When I asked what was that, they said a ghost, and I asked if I wanted to touch the ghost. I asked, is it possible? They said, yeah. So I faced with my back to the front door, looking out, and I hear a different female voice ask if I was ready. I was shook, and I asked, who was that? And the ghost said, it's me. I then asked if they were going to possess me, but the ghost girl laughed in like, OMG, did you really ask that way? And said no. I then reached out with my right hand, with my palm open straight out to the front yard, and I began to feel warm fingers fold in between mine. I couldn't believe that a ghost was warm. We had held our hands together, which seemed like for 4 to 5 minutes. I was so astonished. The ghost girl was just giggle at the way I was surprised. Oh, great wording. When we let go, she said, see, that wasn't too bad. I then said, no, it wasn't. I then said, no, it was crazy because you were warm and I wasn't expecting that. We then decided to continue to the house. We stepped in through the front door and the ghost girl, I wanted to hold hands again later. Great writing, thanks, guys. I said, yeah, but immediately started to think about hugging her and if she was, or who she was, and why the fuck was she warm? And then I woke up. Weird, right?
Why the hell a ghost girl was warm? All right, so let's back up to the beginning of that. You mentioned that some people had asked you, do you want to touch a ghost? And you're like, is that possible? Right?
Right. Yeah.
So the only way I can interpret that is that you're probably wanting to be able to actually like see and feel and touch with your own hands something that's like unknown to us. Like, I don't know. That just sounds like something that's like you're looking for answers to things that have never been answered before, you know? Like answers to things that, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that, but holding a ghost girl's hand and it feeling warm, I don't know.
Weird,
Maybe
right?
you saw her as just a person and not a ghost. Was she see-through
No,
in your
she
dream?
was absolutely invisible.
person.
It was just nothing there.
Nothing there.
Nothing at all. Like, I'm looking at just straight nothing, but I can feel.
Okay.
Perhaps
Yeah,
you
so
will be
so
a
it's like it's an
seeker.
invisible person, like it's like something that you haven't seen before, so you know isn't real, but you want it to be real, so you touch it. I don't know. That's an interesting one for sure.
She had a
Touching
hot
a
voice,
ghost.
I'll tell you that. It was
I
hot.
watched a man fuse with a horse to become a centaur.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
that's
let's
hot.
hear his story. Yeah, I want to hear it again. Tell the story.
Okay, so, this guy was.
Give the background too, like the
Okay,
background
well,
of us
we
watching.
just watched the episode of Game of Thrones where they. I don't know. Has everyone seen it?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've
Okay,
seen
well, I'll skirt by it. Don't worry. So there's a part where there's a horse and there's a ritual, and but it has nothing to do with this. It's just a horse and a ritual, okay? And so in my dream, it starts off showing the dude's face, right? And he's like parched, and he's like, so one of the people, like his people, is like trying to give him water, and he's like, get it closer to my mouth, and he like puts the water up to his mouth, and he's like drinking water, and he's like, oh, thank you. And then like as he's like this is happening, the camera is panning out, and he's like, the horse is like dead and on the ground, and it's like everything's like kind of rotting, and like decayed, sort of. But he's like fused. He's like his like lower body is sort of like in the horse, like in its like upper body, like its neck area, sort of. And it's like all the flesh is sort of like melding together, and like he was basically becoming a centaur. Like he was molding into the fucking dead horse, like, and fusing with it.
Like the first ever centaur. Like that's how the first ever centaur was made.
Yeah, because of like a ritual to keep him alive. And they sacrificed the horse to keep him alive. But he fuses with it and becomes Centaur Man.
Crazy.
Koopa
That
says,
I don't know how to interpret.
At age 6, I was born without a face.
I think
I want to know what the fuck that is.
just wants to have a body of a horse while still keeping his glorious upper body with his beautiful face and
Oh, I also
Did he have a horse cock?
I also saw someone's dick.
Of course he
Diamond
wants
Dogs.
a horse cock. Who doesn't want a horse cock? Even
don't.
freaking
Who?
Lucifer wants a horse cock.
I watched one of the Diamond Dogs attempt to put a condom on, and they sucked at it. Because like all of us were like hanging out in a house together, and one of us was about to fuck some girl, and he could not figure out how to put the condom on, and like we all had to like help him out how to put the condom on, and then he fucked her while we were cooking food.
Who is this?
I don't know.
One of the Diamond Dogs?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, is this a dream or did this happen?
this was a dream. No, this didn't actually happen.
Oh, I was about to say, it narrows it down a little bit.
You had a dream about one of our cocks.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
Who was it,
Yeah.
huh? Was
Was
it
it
Chase?
The sound of that.
And that you
What?
that they didn't know how to use it.
No, they didn't know how to put the condom on, which is hilarious.
To be fair,
we were all. This was all in the kitchen, by the way, and they were trying to fuck in the kitchen while we were like cooking food for like a get together in like a.
Oh, so this
campground.
was like some. Oh my God, step bro! If we fuck underneath the kitchen table, our family won't see us.
No, not at all. Trying to be sneaky. This was literally like, hey, we're like, they were just getting at it and getting ready to fuck, and like we were just in the kitchen making food while they were doing that, and then they didn't know how to put a condom on, and so we were like, me and like the other person were like helping them, like, no, you
Wait.
do it like that, like, yeah, it's the easy way.
Which diamond dog wouldn't know how to put on a condom?
Probably this one.
well, then we have to do a couple of categories.
By
here.
this one, I
Which
mean this
diamond
one.
dog would fuck in front of all the other diamond
Maybe this
dogs.
Probably also this one.
Because I would fuck in front of all of you guys. I don't give a shit.
Can I get
So,
a,
like,
If I'm
okay.
gonna go down on somebody, I'm
Kyle-
gonna go down on somebody.
Pretty much you're saying like one of the diamond dogs whipped out his cock in front of everybody, and then he was like, "Hey guys, can you help me put on this condom?" And then after
No.
that,
They didn't say it like that. It was them two naked and about to fuck, and
Who's the girl?
I don't know. She was like, okay, this isn't a clue. This isn't a clue, but she was definitely like brown skinned.
Oh my god, it's me!
oh,
That's not a clue.
it's me.
That doesn't help at all. I promise you.
It's
My first guess
Wendy.
was Galen. Yeah, that was
That
mine.
doesn't- That doesn't.
I'm sorry.
That
My
doesn't take
girlfriend
any
is
of
Asian and
the-
she has dark skin.
Yeah, well, there's two of you that have dark skins, but
Yeah.
it doesn't help. I promise. That's
It's
just
true,
a
I-
misnomer.
You can
true.
levitate
There's actually-
birds? Holy shit.
Because
How?
there was
I
another
care.
girl-
I wanna
there
know.
was another girl in the dream that had dark skin too, so it
Uh,
doesn't mean
And
shit.
fucking
Fucking
ripped to
dark
Dicky?
skin or
Power
brown
went out?
dark skin or
Fucking power lines
Like-
explode?
and brown
All right.
skin.
I don't remember that exactly. Come on.
How dark are we talking?
Oh,
Are
he
we
was
talk-
paying more attention to the cock than the one.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
they
You're
were
like-
doing it right next to us. How could I not? I mean, I
Just-
was trying.
oh my God!
We
There's
were
a
making food. There was a get together at a campground that we were making food for, which is where the house was, and we were all in the house making food, and they were trying to fuck, and they were just right in the kitchen, and they were fucking like right on the table next to us while we we're making food, and we're like focused on making food, but then he
You're
was like,
Oh my God! Not the mashed potatoes.
he was literally struggling to put it on. And
Who is
so we're
he?
Like, dude, you. So we were like, yo, you just fucking do it like that and then roll it down. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they just fucked it while we were making the rest of the food.
Who?
And I remember the thing we were making the food on was super ghetto. It was like a grill that had like tubing running through it and like water pumping through it.
I'll make a fucking so that we can a visual fucking. Give me a second.
It was a nice dick.
Thank you.
It
I mean,
it was almost as good as mine. I mean,
I feel like everyone
Almost.
here pretty much has.
Yeah, rip
has
to
a very
Nikki.
nice
I
His
would
dick.
power
guess
line.
Tickles or Chase, because those are the two people you always talk about being beautiful men.
True.
So
I
I
mean,
think that's
Who
subliminally.
was it?
But Chase probably has the better cock.
It was Nikki, wasn't it?
That man's just perfect all the way around.
I've seen Chase's cock.
And so can you
All
tell
I
me
can
it
say
is
is that
perfect?
my eyes have never seen more beauty in my. Anyways,
Oh,
here's my
but Doug.
visualization of the condom, right? So you just kind of put the tip in like that, and then you just kind of.
yeah. And they were
Yeah.
struggling hard with that, dude. And so
This isn't a condom, obviously. This is tissue paper, but you could try it. Probably wouldn't work very. As a matter of fact, you might get little particles on your cock. I just
Well, it wasn't called
use
shaft
that-
balloon. It's shaft napkin.
correct. I did my best.
Was it Doug?
Nikki think it's Doug because he loves dreaming about Doug.
No, I just dreamed about it.
That's once. Yeah,
Are they in the
yeah.
chat right now?
It wasn't Doug. It wasn't Doug.
But are they in the
Was it?
chat?
Doug wasn't in this one. Doug was in another one. That was fucking weird that I saw his face, though. I don't like that. I don't want to talk about that one. I don't like that shit.
Are they here?
They're always here.
But in the chat right now.
Yeah, they're always with us.
Right now.
Oh, it's a former Diamond Dog. Rest in peace.
That's true. Yeah, Doug is former, so it wouldn't be him.
But
You're not gonna get the answer. I'm probably.
for why? Give us a hint.
I don't want to tell you.
If,
So
okay.
you know
wha-
who it
Oh,
was
wait,
that
you-
dreamt of.
It needs to be ominous because I don't want you guys thinking about that I'm dreaming about a specific man's cock.
I want to know
And
so
that's
bad.
Not,
If
that's
you
not
did, we wouldn't blame you.
The
You know?
thing is that's not important to the story. It's the scenario that's funny and important.
No.
Wait.
The most important thing is who you're dreaming about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
no,
Whose
wait.
cock you're dreaming
So
about.
you know,
Yes.
That's
you
the
know.
festering little evil in your heads that needs to know that.
Oh,
and that
that's
doesn't
not.
need to be known.
That's not little
You
evil.
need-
That's
'cause
big
you guys
evil.
have
I
to-
want to know.
You guys are desperate to apply it to someone, and I don't want you to.
Wait,
I
no,
want you
but this,
to. I want you to
I'm
enjoy the scenario.
completely content with knowing that it's me personally, but not.
was it Lauren?
Yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah,
you-
had to be. Oh, massive fucking dong.
I've never dreamed about Laura.
Would you think I was lying if I said that I've dreamt about every person in this Discord minus Van because I don't know what he looks like?
Would we think that you're lying?
Yeah.
Actually, the other day,
I put his picture in my stream.
I actually had a dream the other
Oh my
day.
God, oh my
About who?
Multiple Diamond Dogs
Are we all
doing
fucking
bad things together.
having an orgy?
Doing bad things together.
Was I the
Okay,
syrup
okay.
on your pancake?
And it was a dream, and it was in a very small shower. I don't know why.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Whoa.
Wait,
No,
that
okay.
sounds like content. Come on, Luke. Well, Kyle, we can't just skirt past it. So you know who it is, Kyle. You just don't want to tell us for
Yeah,
some reason,
no,
right?
I-
Can we
it's not-
guess?
No, I'm not gonna answer it. So it
okay,
doesn't matter.
How about
So the
how
answer's
about
always gonna be no.
it's okay? We just get a hint, but you don't tell us who it is.
The best.
No.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
give us
yeah.
the hint.
things.
Give us a hint.
Fucking mint.
No.
Delicious. Mint. Chocolate. Sorry, guys. I'm going through my candy bag.
You're gonna go to
Put
fucking
nice
jail
on
unless you
you
give me a
want, but
hint.
He will never break. One of Page's
got a mint,
best
that's about it.
qualities is that he's stubborn.
Just a
as fuck.
regular old mint.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm not even gonna.
Turn on your camera.
I haven't asked you one time, so you can DM me in private, and then this guy.
We're gonna go back and fucking interrogate you. Who was it?
Okay.
I think we all
guys-
kind of verified that
You
he's
guys
talking.
haven't even earned the right to know because not a single person asked about the rest of the dream.
Well,
Because
we figured
that's
that
all
was
you-
it.
That's what I'm saying. It's that little vicious evil. It's in all your little heads. You gotta know. You gotta know whose cock I dreamed about.
porn.
That's not what matters. That's not what matters.
It's not. No, I don't care about who's cock. I want to know who is fucking.
He's
No,
like a
I wanna know who had
1940s,
the-
like horror director
Wait,
where like
who
every
had the
action
balls?
sequence happens
So these
appearing off
girls.
screen.
So
She
wait.
was hot.
So these girls, you know who they are. You just don't.
No.
aren't telling us?
So wait,
Okay,
there's
you really
there's
just
more
don't know
to
who
the
they
dream.
are.
It doesn't end at the
no,
end.
I know who it is. The girls were vague though. The girls were vague.
So you
One
don't
of them
know
not
who the
so
girls
much.
are though.
Right.
No. One of them was just the person's girl, and the other one was a little bit more maybe somebody that is around, but like not so much.
But there's
You hear
more to
that,
the
boys?
dream.
Mostly vague.
So brown girl and one of them was one of our girls. So that gives us a
Not
lot of
real.
hints.
Not real. And she was a girl. She just wasn't real.
Oh.
Oh, so it's like
She
You know what I'm saying?
existed for the purpose of the dream.
Okay, well, finish your dream.
Yeah, I thought the end
it's
of the
too late.
dream was fucking.
It's too late. Oh my god, don't be petty.
yeah.
Oh my
No, I don't really remember the rest of it honestly. Like it was we were at a campground. Shit was going down. I didn't write it down, so I don't remember the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Write them
Alright.
down.
Luke, which three of the Diamond Dogs were in a tiny shower?
Dude, I hope I was. Jesus Christ. I would love to be in a shower of all of you guys.
I didn't say there was three.
Hold on. Nikki said you guys need to ask for permission from him first before we dream about him. So you got to keep him out of our dreams.
I'm gonna
Nikki- if
dream
Nikki
about you,
ever
Nikki,
showed-
and you're gonna like it.
If Nikki ever showed his face, I might dream about him.
He showed his face in
Mhm.
I
Snapchat.
know. Yeah, it's not enough.
I just want to say
He
that
doesn't give me what I want.
He gives me
I
all
have
that
had the
Futanari
pleasure-
stuff.
I've had the
Cheers.
pleasure of seeing Nikki in the flesh, and might I say, he's not allowed to show his face in here because all of you guys would instantly die. It's like what is it, Medusa stone? He's so attractive that you guys would just fall over and die.
Listen,
I'm saying.
Nikki's the same way I feel about like women. Like I don't want to just see him. I want to touch
Matter
him.
of fact,
you
just
know?
thinking about Nikki's face right now, I think I'm gonna have to lie down and turn my camera off.
Leave your mouth open so I can come drop these nuts in there.
My
You guys
pleasure,
ever
dude.
Watch the streamer Kaif.
Dip, potato chip.
Nope.
Dip, potato chip.
No one knows
You
the
taste
streamer
those.
Kaif. No one. No one.
I
No.
didn't hear what you said.
Kaif?
Yeah.
I had to turn you.
I'd
Oh,
say
yeah.
Nikki looks a lot like him,
Okay.
except for sexier, of course.
Mm,
But Kaif is pretty attractive, but I would say Nikki is definitely.
He doesn't give me.
I feel like the most sexy thing about Nikki is his like mysterious side. I feel like because he's kind of he's quiet and witty
no.
and you don't know a bunch about him, and then that
See-
just makes me get hard, you know?
To me, that's a false perception. I feel like he does it on purpose because there's nothing there. There's not a damn mystery about him. It's all right up front. But that's why I like him though.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I bet Nikki's blushing because we're talking about
I
it.
want to make him a mystery. I want to disappear him. You didn't hear that, officer.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
The fuck y'all talking about? What you can and say can be held in the court of law.
Okay, so while I was out today, I heard on the radio that they were saying that do not go on cruises. So your boys, we
I
might
saw
need to
that
change.
I saw that in a news article too. That while I was
Yeah,
reading the other day.
they were just saying like don't do it.
That's why we gotta do it.
Right?
Dude.
Do you think it would be? Oh, yeah,
It's
Oh
gonna be
my
way
God.
cheaper
It
now.
might even be cheaper, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it might
shit
be
scared
cheaper
me,
now.
not gonna cap.
No, we're just gonna get our booster shot,
Dude,
and then we're gonna
you
get
missed
a
it,
penicillin
Cass.
shot, dude. Like
We're-
for no reason.
I propose instead.
We were talking
we
about you earlier.
Get a ship on our own, and then we go and pirate a cruise ship.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only gonna be like nobody on it, so easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be
We'll make another movie that Tom Hanks has to be
It's
in.
like taking candy from a baby. I mean, come on.
I can't really talk because they're on us. Guys, keep talking.
Good talking. Come on.
I was gonna say that I can't. Guys, talk. Just talk about something.
So I went into Chef Napkin's room a while ago, and I like to fucking suck his dick from under the desk. Hey, keep talking, keep talking. So, and I was... Keep talking, all right, so I don't... So when I was in there, and I loved to dangle his balls in my hand while I slurp up his stuff, and it's like soup.
What in the world?
It's like soup, like white gooey soup in my mouth, and it tastes fucking bitter as fuck. I don't know what he fucking be eating.
This is our new bit about the one time.
Okay,
noise
sick.
pollution.
This is horrible.
We can't let our secret out.
We were talking about you. Kyle was
derailing.
talking about how he had a dream about you.
We're derailing. Come on now.
Wait, where the fuck did your dream go? Like, who was in the shower together?
What?
Yeah, let me know. I need a fucking picture this right now.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes.
Who was it? Tell us who.
Tell us.
Well, somehow
The light's just getting brighter. What the fuck? The numbers, Mason.
Tell
so
us
I
right
don't,
now.
I don't know
Who was it?
why this happened
It was in the dream.
or where this was. I think it's because I've been watching a lot of
How old was she?
what?
How old was the girl?
Oh my god.
Is this Kyle or who are you asking here?
You were in the shower with her. Are you telling me that
Are you guys
She
in
was
my
on it.
dream? Do we know how many people who was in the dream?
Luke, just explain your dream, please.
Good God.
Yes, it was pretty lit. You'll have to Kyle, it's in the VOD. I can't remember it exactly.
Okay, so you don't remember your dream.
No, I remember my dream. I don't remember Kyle's dream. The only reason I remember my dream is because it was fucking weird. I don't know why I was having this dream. What I was thinking, I think maybe it was because I was thinking about all y'all, you know? Somehow we all ended up in the shower, you know?
All of us.
yeah.
Yeah, but like when I say we're all in the shower, I mean this for all you military. This wasn't like a barrack shower. This wasn't like a
You boys
big ass
breaking up,
open.
man.
This wasn't a fucking big open shower. This was like a fucking 2 by fucking I don't even know. It was like we were all fucking ass cheek to fucking ass cheek, butt ass naked,
Nut to butt.
butt ass naked, mate.
All of us, including Lauren.
It was only a few of us.
Only a few of us.
Only a few. Can we get
No
the
Lauren?
letters
With
of the
Lauren or
first?
without Lauren?
I will say it was 4 of the people here.
Okay. Okay.
Or
Four.
the people here with their camera on.
Wait, hold on.
Is that-
Were
Yes.
you in the shower as
We're
well?
doing the exact same thing Kyle's doing.
In the shower.
I know who it was, but like I'm gonna, in vague terms, I'm gonna try to describe who it was.
Vague.
Okay.
We are so different. Any kind
Why
of
is he
vagueness.
looking down? Why is he looking down like that? It's like,
He's
oh,
getting
wait.
his
got a
cock
picture.
out.
He's got a picture on his phone of everybody. He's been snapping everybody.
I'm looking down. 1 second.
Yeah,
I dreamed about you two last night.
Looked like he had to swap pant legs.
Yeah.
No.
Rearrange.
All right. I will say that one of the people that was in this shower dream, in particular, was myself,
No shit.
and I am unashamed.
So you count as one of the 4.
I am one of the 4.
Okay.
Why would you be ashamed? You can't control the dreams. Like,
Who is it?
Who?
Who is it?
Okay.
She does look comfy. She does this all the time.
Give us
It's just-
hints.
it's not fair.
Give us hints.
Let's just say that the other 2 of the 4 were men, and the other one was not a man. Out of the 6 that are here right now. So
Okay, that answers the question.
also connected to my webcam.
You said the other 2 were connected to your webcam?
Correct.
I'm sorry. Now I want to pay more attention. Was I in the
Wait.
middle of this shower? Were there people standing around? me in
I
the
was-
shower?
No. It's where the shower.
The shower was very small.
Fuck yeah.
Were you all
That's
facing each
fucking
other
hot.
like a star? Did you make
a
like a
star?
star facing
Were we
each
actually
other?
showering, or were we doing any sussy shit, Luke?
So I will say
Sussy
that
vodka.
it was the shaft napkin. Just to clarify, chat, that is me.
Oh, okay.
And then there was also the brownie bites. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I think it was the mustache. Really got me.
I'm pretty sure it's the ass.
That also could
It was
very well be true.
Probably
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
ass.
Yeah, probably just the ass.
Yeah. That's all I'm
And then
good
there
for.
was the Shaw shifter. I don't know why. And then if you go around and up a little bit over there, it was the cuddly looking one in her chair. The Lucifer Lux.
Ooh,
Mm.
me?
I think because I've been watching a lot of. So this was the setting, right? It was dark,
Oh fuck yeah.
and it was also.
okay.
I don't know what. I've been watching The Witcher.
Okay, so you're watching The Witcher.
Season 2 came out. So you know
Okay,
how
season two,
if
yeah.
you've seen The Witcher, it's based in like a bricky dark castle,
Yeah, it was
fucking.
dark, full of
There's
witches.
always a
Oh, yeah,
basement,
fuck yeah.
shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, like think of like they didn't have big open showers, right? They just had
Right, right.
bathtubs where people can bathe in.
It was small, it was cramped, it was in The Witcher's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Think about the size of one of those bathtubs, right?
Remember?
The fucking
It's a
right?
little bathtub that he's in.
All
Yeah,
of
the
us
bar
in one of the in like
Oh,
that sized
God.
area.
Oh, fucking, it's hot. Oh, my dick would
There was,
go
there was
everywhere.
hands and cheeks everywhere.
Oh,
I want to piss
Of
on
all-
everybody's seat to get rid of
Hands
your
and cheeks
athlete's foot.
and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What?
Shake weights? We're talking about shake weights now. We were just
I,
exercising.
I just wanted an ice cream cone.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
So okay,
Did you-
let me,
did you guys
can,
catch-
Can I kind of like catch everybody back up?
Okay, yeah,
So,
go ahead, recap.
We're talking about dreams, and Luke is talking about a dream where in this dream he dreamt about the shower that four of the diamond dogs were in, and this was a tiny shower that was super, like, it was a little dark.
Listen,
And in that shower with Luke, it was Lauren, Dylan, Brownie Bites, and they were all in a. And then they were doing weird shit.
Weird shit.
no, okay, listen. Backtrack a little bit.
Shake weight stuff. Yeah, okay.
The reason this even came up, because I would have never said this at all ever. I would have kept this to myself. I don't know why that I had this dream in the first place. Anyways, it was because Kyle had said his dream was about some things happening between the diamond dogs helping each other out a little bit of, you know what I'm saying,
Yummy.
with the condoms and stuff. And so then I was having, this, and I don't even know why. And this was 2 nights ago. I don't know what happened. Diamond dogs were just getting it all together. Maybe it was just because I love you guys all so much.
Yeah, I love.
And I was thinking about, because you know how when you have dreams, it's because you have dreams about the things that you were thinking about before you go to bed. That's what I've always been told, right? So I must have been going through, looking at our Discord or something. Yeah.
Just to clarify, what happened at the very end? Were you saying like somebody was getting fucking jizzed on?
Spreading love all over each other's face.
It's just me circle jerking the boys.
Yeah.
A little bit of Dutch rudder, double time action.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll stop doing that now.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, stop.
So a
Don't
little
stop.
of this, and then a little of this, and
All I want to know is all I can say was I woke up towards the weird part.
Yeah,
Okay, so what does
none
that
of the
mean?
other stuff was weird. Okay.
I can't imagine why he woke
Okay,
up.
so I actually here's perfect, right? I think this is exactly what happened. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Oh,
because the settings was Witcher vibes, right? And there's a
Yeah,
scene
that's
in The
Super
Witcher. There's a scene in The Witcher where Yennefer, who's a mage, she was doing her little witchy witch shit, and she fucking put a bunch of people under a spell, and they were all fucking each other, right?
Spoiler, but all right, love it.
You see where I'm going with this?
So you had it.
We
Oh,
were
yeah,
under the spell. We were under the
Yeah,
spell,
under the spell.
guys.
I
Wait.
know,
Oh.
I know. You're
yeah, we're
justifying
under the
this.
spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
He cast a spell.
How else to justify? Because that's just not a normal thing for me. So now I'm a little embarrassed about it. You know what I'm saying?
Lauren, what
Yes,
does it
yes.
mean? What does the dream mean, Lauren?
So I'm not embarrassed about it because I love you all, and I would fuck any one of you.
Yeah,
Loves it.
well, I've had similar dreams to that that I won't speak about, but I wouldn't say that just because he had the dream you can't interpret it like he just wants to do him because obviously I don't think if it came down to it, you know.
But I do. I'll do it with.
But you will. But you will.
Well, Tanner, Dylan.
There's a
We
difference.
can't say
between
names of
wanting-
married people. Sorry, Tanner, Lauren, you're out. Just Dylan.
Hell yeah.
Just chilling. Yeah, we watch.
There's a difference between
I mean,
wanting
can
to
we?
do it.
Can I
I'll-
film it?
I'll be the cuckold.
Sure.
What?
If you're only Dylan's cool with it.
Hey, you know what?
So it's gonna be.
I gotta be famous for
It's
something.
gonna be
bro.
me on one side, you, Luke and Dylan right in the middle, and then Lucy on the other side, and we're gonna be watching y'all in the middle
Right.
and doing our own things.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
It's like watching porn. So
You
And
get
if you
kind of
want,
like the
if you
full
want to
effect.
appeal to like multiple crowds, I can like do the shibari on you guys and like tie you guys all up. You know what I mean? And
Awesome.
then I'll put a collar on somebody and walk them on a leash. You know, like.
I have always wanted to be the one getting tied up.
Nope.
You guys deserve that. You deserve that.
I am
What
not
is-
going through that again.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Nope.
This is the second or third time or more. Yes, the Terminator has spoken.
Nope. Just nope.
I know Kyle's
I
been
want to
tied up.
know about it.
Right, Kyle?
So what is the
friends?
dream? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
My friends used to tie me up. I always got out. They always.
We're not talking about that kind of tie up, but you know.
We're talking about
Yeah,
the good time.
You guys are talking about the. I mean, it was good for me.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing more satisfying than escaping people.
Hey, yo, what up, Lauren?
That's
Right,
true,
right.
actually.
Why did you get tied up?
Because we were kids and we were having fun, and I was like playing the guy that escapes,
Like a
Oh,
hostage?
artist.
like the
Okay.
the robber. We used to play like cops and robbers, but on like a neighborhood scale.
As a child,
Yeah,
I
I kind of did that as a child too. Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Just training yourself for
He
adulthood.
grew out of it.
I don't know about that. All right. So could we summarize what the dream meant, Lauren?
His dream? Oh God, I think it's just like he said. You dream about what you think about before you go to bed, right? So I'm sure subliminally he was thinking about us. It's just like Kyle's dream. He was watching Game of Thrones, and then he had a dream about a centaur being made from some characters from
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones, you know, and I don't know that there's much to interpret there, you know, seeing weird stuff. Maybe they just have wide imaginations that enable them to come up with their own storyline of
I think
Yeah.
what's weird to me, right, is I don't have dreams. Like, and if I do have dreams, I do not fucking remember them. Maybe it was because my dick was hard when I woke. I mean, maybe it was because maybe.
You woke up, you're in the Jacob's Garden?
What? No.
In
Who's,
that dream.
Normal morning.
did you
wood.
guys? There was a fucking ghost in here spewing lies into my microphone. Fucking
yeah, I
asshole.
didn't see it. It was just like the
Okay,
one
it
Brown was
seems like-
talking
You guys
about.
didn't
You
see
didn't
that?
her
I think
either.
this is more a fantasy than a dream at this point.
Well, now I
Oh,
mean,
it is
now I just
definitely
wanted a
a
reality. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, what were you saying?
Okay. Wait. Okay, I could scapegoat you here, Luke. Can
Thank
we
you.
can we switch over topics?
Wait, is scapegoat a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. Meaning
right,
you don't
then
have
yes,
to talk
please.
about that.
Oh, never mind.
No, get your shit off. Get your shit off.
No,
His
it
hand like
was
he
it was
a
off.
kid.
It was, hey, pick me over here, master, please.
Teacher, are we on a Zoom call? I'm raising my hand digitally and physically.
How do I click the button on this thing? Ding ding over here. No, you can switch topics now.
Okay, so we just talked about dreams. Can we ask Brownie and Nathan the question about power? Can we dive into that? Okay,
About
I'm just gonna
power.
dive in. So we'll start with you, Brownie, since you have your camera on.
Okay.
Are there, so this is kind of psychological, but I'll start with asking you this one question. Do you think some people are just better than others in life?
Ooh, yes.
You think some people are better than others?
I mean, depending on what, but yes, in general, yeah. Some people are
Yeah.
better. Better
Okay.
looking, better at fucking talking, walking, looking, better in all sorts of ways. They're just generally better.
Smarter, faster, stronger, more athletic, more agile, hand-eye coordinated, better
Oh,
at video
that's for
games like myself.
Yeah.
And question number 2 is, do you think people are good or evil, just in general?
Evil in general.
If they're born good or evil.
Oh, born good or evil? Oh, damn. Yeah.
No, that's not what you asked. That's not what you asked. You
That is
asked.
what he had.
No, you asked. Do you think people are inherently good or inherently bad?
Inherently meaning like was from birth.
I guess, but
And
I don't think necessarily
I
from
don't-
birth.
it's similar. I think you would answer the same question or the same answer to both. Because just answer
Okay.
the question.
Are
and
we
your
saying without?
interpretation.
Are we saying without any outside force, like?
Influence, yeah,
Yeah,
without any
without any
influence.
influence.
I think that question is more ridiculous. To be honest,
I mean,
what does that even mean?
yeah,
would
you got to
just
draw a
raise
line
a
between
baby
good and
in
evil.
A blank white room, like
Right.
they're just gonna be feral at that point. Like, what?
Okay. Well, I would say
question
it's
is-
innocent. Okay.
Okay, just
Until proven
humanity in
guilty, you
general.
would say that you fucking cop.
Humanity in
within the
general.
world?
Humanity in general is evil.
Yeah.
You think it's evil?
Yeah.
I would say.
I think the basis of the question, Deja, is like at birth is a baby, just like at birth. No past the birth stage. Just at birth.
Yeah.
Is the baby good or evil? Like when
Okay.
Hitler was born,
No, 'cause we
was
talked
Hitler
about this
evil when he was born?
No,
Or
but
was
I'm
he
saying we
evil when
talked
he
about
grew
this.
up?
We talked about this though, like in its entirety. Like, but that's there's two different ways of saying it. Then it would be like,
Yeah.
like as they're born, or just in general, like a general sense. Even if they're raised within the society, like you could ask that.
Then
like, I think that's two different versions.
I say if we're gonna go from birth and we're gonna keep it good and evil, I say evil, straight off the rip, because we'll bring Christianity into it because they're gonna be sinners until fucking baptized.
Right.
So we're just gonna call them evil. Evil little babies, innocent evil little babies, but evil little babies.
So you
So
think?
you think all people,
I think
as they're just born, you just think every person on the planet is just evil?
I'll be right back, boys.
Bad.
No,
asking the
not
questions.
every person. Maybe not every person.
Well,
But
I'm
in
asking
general.
Brownie because that's what he said. He said all people are
General.
evil.
Oh, okay.
Well, for simplifying the question, we're bringing religion into it, and then saying that everybody is born sinners, which makes them evil.
I'd like to note that in Dante's Inferno, there's a part where you have to basically like fight off these little
Those
unborn
unbaptized babies.
unbaptized babies, and you
Mhm.
know where they were? They were all in hell.
Yeah.
Like babies that died before they were baptized were all in hell, and you had to fight
Well,
them all in Dante's
I mean,
Inferno.
This is our podcast, Marine Man.
that's obviously the show is not real. Because
we don't
when
know
you are
exactly
born,
what it is.
you are born pure, right? Pure and innocent, because a
Right.
child does not have free will.
I disagree.
I disagree with your disagree. A baby, a child and a baby does not.
Their genetics
They
determine
can't.
a lot of things.
They can't fend for themselves.
Yeah, but you saying they're born pure, but
They are born pure.
you're
They're born
You're
innocent.
born with
Right.
Yeah, but you're born with the wiring that sets you up for life.
Right.
Now the environment plays a big role, but you're still born with that same wiring.
Do you think that people can break that wiring
I think
Yeah.
that up until
That's
with
a hard part.
conditioning?
I don't think there is a specific age requirement for when you can decipher between good and evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point where you reach where it's no longer do I know what I am doing? Do I know if it is good or if it is bad? You know what I'm saying? I
Well,
think that's
no,
the point where you have free will,
Mhm.
and that's where the sin comes into play. Because
It's about your morals. It's not just about, is this good or bad. It's all morality or your fucking morals, how you were brought up, because you're not gonna know.
Mm.
Is a
Right.
fucking feral dude out in the fucking wilderness, killing somebody because he's in their territory? He's not gonna think that's fucking anything wrong.
Right.
But to us, it's murder.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
it's how you're brought up.
Evil,
I don't really know
good,
how that would. What
evil
would that
and
would
good is
constitute?
subjective.
Well, the fucking Tarzan out here
I
yeeting
disagree
bitches.
with that. I think
You don't
there are
think evil
basic.
and good
I
is subjective.
think there are basic principles of, like
I'm,
you could ask anybody, do you think killing or just murdering somebody in cold blood is?
It
I
depends.
mean, depends on the time frame you're talking about.
Right.
If you were a samurai lord back in Japan and you had the permission to kill anybody you want, and it was righteous for you to do so.
The Crusades.
under what
The
law
Crus-
though?
The Crusades.
Samurai law.
The Crusades,
Right.
The
basically.
Crusades, you could kill anyone under religion,
Yeah.
and it was righteous for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what we deem as society
But
today,
but
is
isn't there a
different as what we
reasoning
did.
for the killing?
There's never a reasoning for what we decide is good or evil. We just decide as a community, as a social gathering of people, that this
Have
is
mine.
bad and no one should do it, and this is good and everyone should do it.
Do you think
Yeah.
animal cruelty is good or evil?
Well, personally, are you asking me personally?
Yeah,
Or
that's
are you
what
just
I'm saying.
asking
Animal
anybody?
cruelty, because if we're
think
out
that
here
people-
sacrificing sheep right now, it's bad. But fucking Jesus was fucking asking us to fucking sacrifice a motherfucking chicken for him. It's okay.
Well, let's make it a little bit more relevant.
Ah.
Let's talk about mice, because mice are the number one thing that we experiment on. So if you want to talk about animal sacrifice, we sacrifice mice constantly on a daily basis to provide us with better answers about our health and drugs and medicines.
Using
like-
rats. These little guys, like they're so fucking
Rats
cute.
too, yeah.
Like,
Any kind of animal.
Isn't that a natural
If
part
it
of
saves
the?
thousands of us, is it okay to kill?
See, I don't
millions of them?
know.
do you believe in
Listen,
sacrificing a few to save the many at that point?
Well, at that point, it'd be sacrificing a lot to save a few of us.
True.
A lot of
Well-
mice, because mice are go faster.
They can also have 10 generations in
That's
one
true.
year, you
That's
know?
what- yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
mice are on a grander scale as far as like
Mhm.
individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, Nathan, you there?
I was
All right.
I
Same
was
questions.
deferring
to you.
answering because I figured I was going to get asked the same question.
Yeah, so same questions. First
Send
one
it.
being, do you think people are better than other people?
I was pretty much in the same lane as Brown. I think it all depends on what you're talking about. Like, there's obviously some people that are better at certain aspects of life than other people, and there's some people that it's not their fault that they're bad. There's just
So
different
including-
factors that
including all the
Making
contextual
power
information
back
that you
on.
can think
Hell
of,
yeah,
just in a
baby.
short yes
Hell
or no
yeah.
answer, do you think people are better than other people?
Yeah.
Okay. And
You
then
know,
sec-
whenever Caesar asked that question, I feel like the question he really wants to ask, or the question the answer to the question he's really trying to, or the answer he's looking for, would be to ask the question, do you think that some people are more deserving of life than other people? Does that make sense? Like, I
I
feel like that's kind
feel
of the
like that's
question
a
he's trying to ask by saying,
different-
are
I feel like it's a different interpretation of the question because deserving of life and better are two different
Mhm.
things.
are you better than other people?
'Cause
But when
that's
you
just
asked,
a-
are you better than
Yeah.
other people? The first instinct for me is to say, no, we're not better than anybody. No one's better than anyone, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in a
I
sense
think-
of like,
I think that's
Humanism.
I think that's
Mhm.
two different things. I think what
Yeah.
you're talking about is anybody worth more than anyone else.
there we
Not
go.
are
That's
they
a better.
Yeah,
There
how
we
much
go.
GDP do they produce?
There we
Yeah.
go. That's how exactly. I think that's more or less the question.
I
he's
agree.
trying
What's
to
the
get
social
at.
credit?
I don't think anyone is worth more than anybody else. I don't give a shit who you are.
Right.
I do 100% think that there's people that are better than other people.
Yeah, I can
or
and I can
amount-
agree with that.
Amount to more.
Yeah.
Or they are more useful or more beneficial or better equipped or just better at certain things.
Right. I can agree with that. It's just like
some
Dylan
people
said.
are just
My grandma's better
better
at
at-
sewing than I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hey,
This bitch, you better put on a show for us.
yeah,
So
I
those
swear.
are like
Get in there, dude. Fucking go ham and figure it out.
Bro.
So let's actually open that up to everybody else. Let's start with you, Brown. Do you think that people's worth can be different than other people's?
No, I think everybody's worthless. I really do.
Yeah, I think we're all worthless.
I really do. Everybody's just fucking born a meat sack, you know?
Tomorrow, Nate. Tomorrow. This is my first day back after the corona, so
Or what about you, Shafty? Do you think other people's worth are
no,
different?
I don't think anybody has more worth or is less than another
Worthy
person.
of living and having,
Right.
you know.
And I think that for me is just a religious thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I think anyone can agree with that. No one
Right.
wants to say
Anybody
no. I
with
think I'm
decent
worth more.
morals, right?
Yeah,
That's very
I don't
prideful.
even. I
We're
I think it's even
conditioned to
before
say that.
before
Right.
religion. It's just like a fuck you, fuck everybody else. You're not.
I'm sure
worth any more than I am.
there are people though that would answer that question. Yeah. So
Well,
Yeah, the
let's
people
see.
who
Let's
think
find
they're
out.
worth more than other people.
Shaw,
right,
do
I'm
think
sure if you
people-
asked the president, that's actually maybe bad.
Don't ask.
Yeah, there's
anyone
there's no clue what he's gonna say.
He probably would ask me what I asked him.
else.
He's gonna tell you to get vaccinated to prevent hurricanes.
Yes. We'll
wanna
fucking
increase
train
your
you.
bet,
worth, you
I
better
appreciate
get
you stopping in and
vaccinated.
saying what's up to.
We
If you
will
want to
back
increase your
train.
worth, you better get vaccinated.
I'm trying to
right?
think of a good example, like a Roman emperor maybe, or someone that, like if we were.
Caligula?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Fucking anybody. Dude. I don't know who that is, but
Look into it.
All right. I
Alright.
have a
did you say Ligma?
question that's like completely unrelated. Are we finished with the last question?
No,
No,
we
no,
got the two people.
I mean,
still
I've
gotta
already
ask-
basically asked
gotta
you.
ask
I
Shaw.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I already answered it in private, but I was gonna say my answer is pretty much like yes, in China apparently because they have a social credit, so it's like some people are technically better than others in their eyes. If you
But
think
better,
about
but
it.
what about worth?
Worth.
Do you think people
Worth?
are worth more than others?
No,
Well,
definitely
that
not.
I would. Feel
Well,
like
I mean,
that
I
would-
guess
I
the-
feel like that would apply though, because if someone has
Yeah.
higher social credit, they're worth more.
Yeah. I mean, that's I suppose so. Yeah, because they're able to do more things.
Their
that
number
was-
is worth more. If you
Mhm.
want to talk worth in the,
Well,
in
just
the
like
in
their-
a sense of numbers, sure.
Their social
Right.
hierarchy,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Caesar.
Spam. I
Caesar-
think it's technically
think-
spam.
Caesar, to catch you up to speed, what we were talking about, you've been asking everybody this question of are people, do you think that some people are better than other people? And I think that the answer you're looking for from people is more based on the question, do you think other people are worth more? And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just
I mean,
curious, like,
I think it's just the interpretation of the person that you're asking. I don't like. It's just a question that it's supposed to be somewhat like a trick question. It's just like what that interpretation of what that person thinks of like being better. Like if I were to ask you, Lauren, do you think you're better than anybody else in the world? What
I'd
would
say
your
no.
answer?
I mean,
Okay.
but I'd say at the same time, but I'm thinking of worth. I'm not thinking of better as another person. You have to give me context.
Yeah, but
better at
yeah.
what?
Oh, but that's your translation of the question though. So you think of it as worth, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually what I'm looking for. Just like your interpretation of that question.
So what
So-
we
Yeah.
did is we
Whereas like
separated-
hold on. whereas in Brownie or Luke or whatever, like some people are taller than some other people, so they might be like, okay, yeah,
I got
people
all
are
you
better.
fucking nerds beat.
But I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Tickle.
But what you did is because Lucifer brought up that great point here, but how she received your question, and we kind of separated into different questions. Do you think people are better, and do you think people are worth more than other people? So most people, actually almost everyone, answered that yes, people are better than other people. But then almost everyone, I haven't gotten to everyone yet, but almost everyone is saying no, people are not worth more than other people. So that kind of interpretation is actually pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Nikki said tall people are the worst.
Damn right, Nikki. Damn right.
Hate
Keep
us 'cause
fighting
you
that
ain't.
fight.
And then right after that,
Best.
Nikki also said, "I'm the best and worth the mostest."
Yes.
Do you
Yeah,
think
this
I'm
is
the?
fair.
Do you think I'd be an average height for a person? Like, is 5'3" average for a woman,
I think
or is that
5'4"
considered short?
I think
I think
5'4" is
it's-
average for a woman, isn't it?
Did we ask
Yeah.
Nathan
I
the
don't
question?
know. 5'5" maybe.
We asked
Mhm.
Nathan the first question, which is
Right,
what
next.
turned into the worth question. But I still got to get to Deja about the worth. Deja, do you think people are worth more than other people? Some people are
Okay.
worth more than others.
All right, hold on, I gotta pause my game. Okay, so I'm the opposite of Brown. I think people are immensely valuable in general. I don't think people are worthless. I think we have an immense worth that we haven't even begun to fucking see. Just out of the fact that we exist, we've already got an immense worth. The fact that we've gotten to the point where we are, that we have the ability to even think about this question, shows me an immense worth. But now, if you ask me again, see, he shakes his head. He's just got a pessimistic viewpoint. He doesn't see his worth, which is disappointing. I wish he would see your worth. It's very valuable. But
I agree.
now, I also think that
No.
there are people that are worth more than other people. I value other people more than I value certain people.
Value other
I-
people's life, or just
everything. There are certain people that will accomplish more in their lives that bring value to more people than I will. There are some people that have existed in history that have, through whether it be like policy, whether it be like law, whether it be creations, whether just all sorts of different things that have
so
brought
basically people
a
that
higher worth than other people.
so people
to
that you think have
humanity.
higher worth are ones that basically served a purpose while they were alive, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
He took it away.
Well, if you want to think of it from that standpoint, everybody serves a purpose. Even if you did nothing with your life and all you did was fucking get put back into the ground, that's purpose there.
No.
You're feeding the other life forms that are feeding
Okay,
off
well,
your body.
that's in a general sense. Then that would go back to my.
But then that would apply to every single person that exists. So now you
That
are no
applies to
longer
life.
Which is why I
contributing more
said
than
no
everybody
one-
else.
Then that goes back to my first point that everything is immensely valuable and that it's a part of the cycle of what we are. That's that's the answer to my first question. That's not the answer to my that's not the second part of it. That's the first part of it. That's the worth in just a very general sense of like
Okay.
existence. That's not a worth in society and humanity.
Okay.
Which is the point that you're trying to make, which is this, or the
yeah.
view that you're trying to look at it from.
Both.
This-
I said both. I said both.
This is what I'm trying to say is like everybody's worth the same. Everybody's born, you're worth the same, everybody's the fucking same. And then that's when it starts saying, okay, I'm better at this. I'm better at this. I was fucking great at fucking math in school because I'm better than that at fucking picking up, a better learning curve, And then that's where you're saying that, okay, now because they're better at this, they're worth more. I think that everybody's still worth the same, but they're just better.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how they use the ability to provide to other people and to other things. I'm not saying just because you're inherently good at math that you're worth more than someone else. If someone else is really bad at math, but they use the math that they know to provide something to everyone else that incorporates a huge amount of value to a ton of people's lives, they're immensely more valuable than you were. Because you might have been really good at it, but you did nothing with it.
Well, they're better at
You're
being
saying
more
someone can be
compassionate.
good at, like y equals mx plus b, but some dude could be like, yeah, 2 + 2 = fish, and then like that means something.
Yeah, he could use that basic math to provide a service or something that is more valuable to more people than the other person who was insanely good at it, but it only benefited like two people.
But we're all still alive, you know. We're all
Wait,
still.
Brownie.
Yeah, I know.
you-
That goes back to the first part of it.
Do you think you're simply better than other people? Do you think you yourself you're just better than other people?
I mean,
Baseball?
right? Like
Just in general.
I feel like I'm, you know,
Do you feel
mid tier,
superior? Do you feel superior?
mid
than some other people?
mid tier. You know,
So you're
there's
mid.
always going to be somebody better than me at something, and I'm going to be better at somebody than something else. You know.
Okay. So okay.
Everybody here needs to take an IQ test right now.
All right, let's move on to Van. Van, do you think some people are worth more than others?
I can agree with Kyle in the sense of some people are worth more on the scale of contributing towards other people, but I don't think anybody inherently has more worth. I think it's all dependent on like what you do and what you bring to the table, so to speak. If, like he was saying with the math, if you're really good at math but you do nothing with it, then what's the point of being really good at math? It never helped you. It never helped anybody else. It didn't serve any purpose, and that's where the worth comes from. Is, are you fulfilling a purpose of some sort, either to you or to other people, or
Like
to,
that's
like a community?
That's how society bases people's worth, what they can give back to society. But I
Right.
think the question is overall, what is worth as a human being, as an individual, as a little fucking semen fucking swimming around in dick.
Listen, that's why mine's two-part, because the first part is just existence in general, and the second part is the existence that we live in, where like the reality that we live in. There's like it's two different things. You can't put them together because like there's just no way to put that together, because existence itself is on just a whole other scale, where it's just like if you exist, like you have a inherent value to the like the whole existence of matter and everything brought you forth, like whatever that is, like there's value in that because you happen to come out of it. But then when it comes to what reality is, which is like, you know, we are a bunch of fucking dudes running around, a bunch of animals with pants, and we're running around and we're like living together. Like if you provide value to other people, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. It's two parts. Like I think everything has an immense value, just in the fact that it's there, and that for whatever reason it came to be that. And then I think that separately from that is the human experience of value and worth.
Can I ask you a question, Luke?
Sure.
Am I allowed?
Is it about my chapstick?
Okay, this is completely different though. A kind of off tangent. Do you think that do you think the world would be like, well, do you think the world would have progressed further if everybody in the world was Christian? This is totally hypothetical. So if everybody wasn't like clashing like against each other, if there was just Christianity, if most people in the world were Christian, do you think we would be further along in the world?
No.
Who's the question being asked to? Because I can start.
Luke, because he's the Christian boy here. So you're saying no. Why do you say no then?
Well, I say no because you're trying to separate. I think with what your question's implying is that you're trying to separate the power of the mind between someone who believes in science and someone who believes in religion. So you're taking, say, all the scientists who don't believe in religion, and you're taking them out of the.
Well, isn't there scientists that are Christian and they believe in that though?
Yeah, which is why I think that it.
Not all of them are. You asked if all of them would be.
Well, have you ever seen the video of the Trinity of Trinities?
No.
It's a scientist explaining why he's a Christian. He talks about time, space, and matter, and how with the three trinities, talking about the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit of Christianity. And have you ever seen that video? I'll have to pull it up. It's on YouTube. It's actually really good, and it's full of science and religion.
Mm.
But
Like, let's say those people were new scientists. Let's say most of the people in the world were Christian. Do you think we would be further along under
No.
one like united?
No.
So you think we would actually be like
I think we would be exactly where we are supposed to be.
if everybody was just Christian and all the scientists believed in
No.
Christianity?
No. I'm saying whether everybody in the world was Christian or not, I think you're speaking about like industrialization or what?
I'm talking about like technological advances.
Like industrial revolution, shit like that.
There's fucking spaceships. Like we got
Creation.
SpaceX and we got fucking
I
astronauts
believe in
on the
aliens.
moon and fucking all that bullshit. Do you think?
I believe in aliens. Straight up.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's.
I just want to throw that out there as well. I hope that doesn't invalidate my Christianity.
Take his C card away, boys. Get him.
I've been to the 51 of area.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to take us off on a tangent, but let's get back to what Nathan was saying about if people are worth more than others. What was your answer, Nathan? You said
I agree with a lot of what Kyle was saying. I think people accumulate more value in the societal role or however much they benefit the society, but I don't think, regardless of what that is, I don't think they, I guess, earn more in the not in the monetary sense, but in the privileges or any right to do or not do anything than I do just because they provide more, if that makes sense. I think there's two different ways of looking at that question of worth.
I think of everybody as we're all little gold coins, right? We all shit out little gold coins. Some of us are fucking misshapen. Some of us are rounder than others. Some of us are fucking dirty or shiny, But, and then based on that, that's whenever, what is it better at being? Okay, so this one's shiny. It was more fucking, noticeable. So he picked it up, put it in a fucking slot machine. And just based off of that,
different sizes and shapes,
you're gonna get different places.
Okay,
you're gonna be better.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying there's just inherent values to a person that are gonna put them in a certain place,
right?
In the world. Yeah. I didn't disagree with that either.
So I'm saying, but we're all still the same value. We're still the same worth.
But you could be the same value, but provide more value, which inherently makes you more valuable.
Is that what you were trying to ask me? It's a quarter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just because you shit out as a little gold coin, what you spend that on matters too.
Well, now it's in my belly.
Yeah, but you're still that little gold coin.
And it will come out again in brown.
If you invest that gold coin in a process that makes
dust it off
1,000 other gold coins look better, or
he invested it into his stomach.
You're still a little gold coin, but you accumulated, friendships,
but
people.
No, so you just deny the value of improving other value?
Oh no. You're saying that because I'm rubbing two fucking gold coins together, they're gonna get shinier and improve their value. They're still gold coins.
Iron sharpens iron. You ever heard that?
I mean, I just don't understand that because it seems very I don't know, because it's like if one sword is sharper than another sword, you probably want the sharper sword.
Right, because it's better at cutting.
Yeah.
But it's still a sword.
So you're saying it's still just a sword. You're saying it doesn't have any value better than the sharpened sword. The dull sword.
You're looking at it wrong. No, you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it like they're supposed to do something for each other simultaneously. But really what it's saying is that, but that's not how it's supposed to be said. Iron sharpens iron is supposed to be saying that another person can help wisen or sharpen another person with their knowledge. So one iron that may be stronger than another iron can sharpen and mold that iron into something greater than what it already.
Yeah, but then that would be a higher value.
It would just make it better at doing what it needs to do.
Right.
But it's still
Would
the
give it
same.
higher value.
Which is technically to stab things
Yeah.
because it's iron.
But it's still
Swords
just
and shit.
iron.
It could be a tool.
But see,
That's
you
true.
guys,
I guess it could be a
you guys
hammer.
are- you guys are making this like a very only these two. Like if I'm better than you, then I can make you better. But if I'm better than you and Kyle's better than me, why would you come to me when you can go to Kyle and get better than if you came to me? Which places
Yeah,
more
if we're just-
value on
if we're-
Kyle than it does on me.
If we're just the same, why not go to the other?
Because he's
Why
better.
couldn't
Why
one
I
versus
think the
the other?
Christianity question
But you're
wouldn't,
still-
like, if Christianity would help, if we were all believe the same thing in general, even not just Christianity, if we all believe the same thing in general, we're still going to find things to divide ourselves by thinking one way or the other. And
Oh,
not
yeah,
everything is so black and white. There's gray.
I was waiting for it to come back, for the question to come back up. You can look at any religion on Earth. They all have their own tribes and diversities among them anyway. So even if we're all the same religion, it's still going to get divided up. Islam, they're still killing each other. Christians, how many different
If
splits
they're all
of
the same religion,
Christianity?
there would be no division. Because you would all believe the same thing, right?
In a
Well,
sense,
if everybody-
in
if
that
everybody-
sense, but if
There's
they all
multiple
believe in the
facets
same
of-
religion, that doesn't account for all the other things. COVID, completely unreligious related, nothing to do with religion. But you know how divided it's made everyone because vaccine or non-vaccine. Is it real? Is it not real? Conspiracy, non-conspiracy. There's other there's other factors that
I
have
can tell you that
absolutely
I had
nothing to
it.
do with what you
Very real.
believe in. Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying there are people
It
that believe
fucking
that it's
ate my ass for like 2 weeks.
I think you're just a bitch.
Wait, did we just confirm
Yeah.
that COVID was real on this podcast?
No, good. She confirmed that COVID is a religious weapon.
Right.
Here's what I know. I got fucking COVID from some bitch. I don't know who bitch or where bitch or when bitch, but I know that I was around a lot of people who didn't get COVID. So
Right.
why the fuck me?
Because you're Dr. Seuss.
Well,
I
it's
pretty much
'cause
kissed
God-
Luke and I didn't get
God-
COVID.
God decided
head.
that for you, Luke. What do you say
Right.
about that?
He's got the Jaeger.
I say that everything happens for a reason.
There it is.
Am I alive for another day? I am indeed.
What about the witches? Everybody believed in witches, but the girls that tried to say I'm not a witch, they got burned anyway. Like,
So what
what
you're
do you-
saying is bitches get stitches.
No, bitches get COVID. I mean, fuck. I didn't mean that.
But because
Yeah,
you
you
know a
got it.
bitch gave you COVID, like
No, I don't know who the bitch or where the bitch or what the bitch is, but I got it. That bitch could have been the Walmart. I don't know.
It keeps turning into Dr. Seuss. I don't know who the bitch or what the bitch.
one bitch, two bitch,
3 bitch, 4.
2 bitch, I got COVID.
three bitch, whore.
Little bitch, red bitch.
okay, are we asking Nathan 2 questions? So Nathan, do you think people are better than, because we asked you already, do you think people are
Yeah.
worth more than other people? So
Yeah,
do you think some people are just better than other people?
We asked them
Absolutely.
that too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He
yeah.
answered that
Oh,
already. He answered
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
moving
you were
on
gone
to
for
that.
that. So that's okay.
But I did want to hear your answer to that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I
okay.
definitely think there's people that are better than other people.
Do y'all think we live in a black
How would
hole?
you say that? what would be the
How
correct
fucking dare you.
terminology to say that? Because
A black
it
hole.
sounds, it
The
just
answer
sounds
is
like
just yes. It's just straight up yes.
But it's reality. Like there's fantasy and there's reality, and like I don't understand because there's a simple reality which is like you don't get all the things that you want. You don't have all the things that you want. Like you have to live within reality, and reality is not always what you want it to be. So like you have to live within that understanding that like you don't have everything that you could possibly want.
Yeah. So if you want to live in this fake world where no one is better than you at anything and everyone's exactly the same skill
Good
level
God.
at everything, then you're going to be living in a world back in the dark ages we only have sticks and stones because there is no one smarter than anybody else. No one's better at creating things than anybody else. We're all just idiots walking
I
around
feel like even that's
throwing
not
rocks at each
true.
other.
But the thing is if I agree to this reality where people are better than me, I want that reality. I want people to be better than me at things. I want
Would we-
someone to
But, okay.
come up with a
But
fucking
you're-
incredible idea.
Kyle, your interpretation of that question is like, are people better than me? Well,
Inventiveness.
obviously, yeah. Like people are smarter than me, people are taller than me, that sort of thing. But like,
But you're changing the question then, because
No, well,
you're changing the value of the question, because you're saying better inherently or better in how are you saying?
but no, but
am
I'm
I
saying
better
like
than
that's your
somebody in how I should
interpretation.
treat them? Well, okay, so
I'm saying because you're saying this is like a simple you're saying this is a simple question and answer. Are some people better than others? Yes, but I think there's interpretation in that question. So I don't think it's like cut and dry yes that some people are just better than you at math, for example. I think like
well, I agree with that because I said that already when I was talking about to Brown about that, because if somebody is like a math wizard, right? And they're just slaying through all these crazy equations and shit. But some simple guy knows a little bit of math, and he uses that math to a certain end where he produces something that is inherently more valuable than anything that the wizard of math produces. Then I would say that he was better with what he had. So he used what the math to a better end than the other guy. Even though the other guy had a couple of rats.
Little rats. The little rats.
We're all
sorry.
just little rats looking for our cheese.
interesting.
Sorry.
You're not wrong.
I mean, the question is, are people better than other people? All we're doing now is adding context to it. If
Yeah.
we just want to answer the question by itself, then there's a yes or no question, and that's the end of it. Anything else from that is just an interpretation of both us and the viewer. If the viewer wants to add context to it, they can. If we want to add context to it, we can. But overall, it's a yes or no question. Do you think people are better than other people? Whatever context you add to it is your own.
Yes, I'm better than you.
What I like.
A lot of things, yeah.
What I think is more interesting is if someone is better or if someone is worse, how do you treat them?
That's a whole different question.
Well, that's exactly that. I feel like that's a more important question because
Now we
if
have
if
communism.
someone is worse than you at something,
I think
how
this
you
is about
treat
a-
them is way more important than whether they're better or worse than you. That's
I
in my
I think
opinion.
this question is about how you feel inside. Like when you get asked, like, do you feel superior to anyone? And your instinctual
I
answer
wish
is
I was
yes or
better
no.
than everyone.
But,
I
like-
wish I
Yeah,
was
that would
the
be
best
amazing.
ever.
No,
Yeah,
you don't. Then
Well-
you'll be a genie stuck in a bottle, bound to the bottle.
maybe.
I watched
maybe
Aladdin the other
was,
day.
but
That's
I
how that
don't-
goes.
But I don't know that until I've been there. I
True.
wish I was the best. I wish I was the best, but the more important thing is that if I was the best, how would I treat those that weren't as good as me? Because if I was the best at everything and I treated everyone like shit, what's the fucking point? Because then it just alienates me from everyone, and then there's no value in it to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the best out of everyone on this entire fucking planet,
No one would
just-
ever bring you down.
I would hope to die, honestly.
Yo, think about this.
Because
I'm
if
glad
I was the
Kyle
best
caught
at everything, then there is nothing to live for. There's nothing to achieve. There's nothing to grow towards. I'm the better of everything. I beat everyone in everything. There's no reason to live anymore.
no,
for me.
because you haven't brought everyone to your level though.
Uh,
That's still
Bringing
something
people
to
to
achieve.
my level is not.
Are you
something
Uncle
I'd
Ben,
like to
dude?
do.
With great power comes great responsibility. You gotta rise up the nation.
That's kind of what I'm saying though. Is like, but then the question would be, yeah, because what you're saying, I guess if you were better, you would be better at that too. If you were better at everything.
Yeah, I'd be better
So,
at bringing people to
You
my level.
would be better at bringing everything to that pinnacle, but then who knows what the fuck that's like. So I can agree with that. Yeah, that would be a little weird.
So okay, Lauren, or like the day before yesterday, said that she had a different take because you guys. It seems like you guys are answering yes mainly. to this question. I don't know if you
Nami?
guys already asked her, but do you think, Lauren, what is your answer to that question? Do you think people are worth more than other people? What is your answer to that question?
Um, no, I would think that no. Are people better than other people? Yes, of course they're better than other people. If there weren't people that were better than other people, then no one would progress because we'd all be the same. We'd be like that fucking episode in fucking Fairly Odd Parents where it was just black and white and everybody looked the same and everybody wore the same clothes and had the same mailbox and had fucking everything was the same. There would be no diversity. There would be no fucking because everybody would just be the same. There is no better or worse. There is no good or evil. There is no black or white, these
It's
are all black
communism.
and white questions,
Just
There's-
communism. That's all it is.
so if you want me to give you a yes or no answer on something that's such a diverse question, it's hard to give you that answer. Do I want to say no? Nobody's worth, like, the nice person in me wants to say no. Everybody has the same amount of worth, like I said,
Mm.
even if somebody lived their life, um,
One quarter mile
going,
at a time.
yeah, doing absolutely, even if they had lived absolutely, did nothing with their life, then you're still serving a purpose by, existing or
What is
dying and feeding the ground, circle of life, Lion
what is
King.
worth based off of?
Let me just do a short recap for you, Caesar, since you were gone. So, do you think people are worth more than other people? Lauren said yes, or I mean, said no. Brownie said no. Shafty said no. Shaw said no. Deja said yes contextually, and Van said yes contextually.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't know who answered or not. Sorry.
contextually, yeah, exactly. I would say no. What is worth based off of? Just the fact that we share the same species, I suppose, you know? But then again, if you're asking me, I'm the philosophical woman that's gonna tell you I'm no better or worse than these fucking rats in here, or don't have any more worth than the cat that's about to come ask me to sit in my lap, even though I've got these guys right here.
Because
Like,
we're all here to
we're
serve a
all,
different purpose.
yeah, well, even if we're not
Right.
serving a purpose at all in life at some point, even if you're just putting soil back into the ground, it's something,
Right. Somebody could be dealt a bad hand in life. Somebody could be an all-star baseball player, fucking get rich, donate to orphanages. But if you were
or be born into power, or
right,
yeah.
but or born a
Right.
quadriplegic,
Well, and
great.
that's
Well,
why-
that's fucking sucks.
Well, okay, but that's why I also incorporate I think the more important question is, if you are better than someone, how do you treat or value the other people? Like, I think that's a more interesting question, because if you're better than someone at something, but you treat them like shit, like,
You
you
should
know,
always stay humble.
I
well,
agree.
that's the
Are
thing.
you
I can
better
agree
than the
with
person
that.
Because
that they're belittling?
it's
Yeah.
one thing to be better than someone, but if you treat them like they're less than you, like,
That's just like-
is that good? That does,
Well, that's just like
does
the golden rule of this universe. Treat other
Well,
people
that's
how you
because
want to be treated,
if you're
or
treating
you reap
other
what you
people
sow.
if you're treating other people like shit when you're better at them than something, then really you would be the worst person because you're only better at them at that one thing or at however many things, because they might have something that they're better at you at, like, for instance, taking bullying. If you are
Does
treating them like shit, they're obviously better than you at you know handling and or coping with traumas like that. Like,
well, let's say that they're good at almost everything except for, like, just fucking one small minute thing.
okay, better at them at everything, literally
Yeah,
everything.
because they can't do much else. Let's
Like-
say that
like-
person is a quadriplegic and they're not that smart.
But they can whistle better than the other guy.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like, they can whistle
Yeah.
better.
They tie their shoe faster than you do.
Yeah, there's one small detail, but it's
He's a
almost irrelevant.
quadriplegic, Dylan.
Hey, that doesn't mean he doesn't have fucking things, prosthetics, boy. Come on.
Where's he gonna put
mean,
them?
Society already puts a worth on that. Society would say, of course, the other guy is worth more because the other guy serves, like you said, no purpose, and we'd have to like if either put him
No,
out
no,
of his
no.
misery.
But he could serve a purpose. I'm just saying that there is a person that is just better than him in most ways. So like, what? How does
Like, wait, Kyle, if you saw like a fucking quadriplegic, like you're saying, do you like like what do you think? Like you're better than that person?
I would be definitely better at running a fucking quarter
Do,
mile.
no, I'm asking you. Do you think in your mind? Do you think
God.
to yourself, I'm better than that person? I'm superior. I'm just a better
No,
person.
see,
I'm a
yeah,
better
that's
human being.
that's the thing. That's the inherent question. That's the question I see when you ask that, and that's why I'm like it's interesting is because like and you just know that you're better at certain things.
Right.
Like
Then
you know that they can't do that, but how do you view them in that light of knowing that you're better than them?
that's the
Do you-
question: is are you a
do
better
do-
person?
Yeah.
It's like-
and
But
that's
okay,
the-
but
that's like,
answer the question. Would you say yes or no to that question? Like,
well, I would never treat anyone that
Excuse me.
like that was in that position as if I didn't have something to learn from them, because I guarantee
but
that there's something
because
to learn
of
from them.
sympathy, or just because,
No,
like, just in general,
no.
you think you can
No,
learn
I just
from
think that they
everyone?
would have a viewpoint that I wouldn't have, and
Hmm.
even if their viewpoint was something that I already knew, even if what they like even if my viewpoint was better than theirs, like they even though they're like let's say they viewed their life from the viewpoint of someone who was quadriplegic, they had certain views that like of the world and the existence of them that like but I already knew it. Even if I knew it and they confirmed it, it would still be a great value to me, and it would still I would still consider that a huge value, even if I already knew, and I would never treat them worse for it, anyways, even if I knew I was better.
Okay, so you're
So
saying, so you do think you are the better person?
Well, on certain things, yeah. I'm saying in the situation that I am, but I don't view it that way until I know.
Hmm.
right.
Like I'm not gonna look
I-
at someone like I'm better than unless I've proven that I'm better than them.
Right. So with that being said, if you had somebody that or it could be a stranger, it doesn't have to be a family member necessarily. Say somebody's in a vegetative state, do you put them out of their misery or no? Do you let them live or no?
It depends.
'Cause-
There's
'cause in-
there's so many questions in that. Like,
Because my
do
perspective,
I have the means to keep them in that state?
We'll
Do I
rope
have
it
the
back.
means to pay the hospital bills
Wait.
for that?
Let's rope it back
That's
to like,
so yeah. That's so
Sure,
out
yeah.
there.
what do you mean? Like by asking that question, how do you tie that into what we're talking about?
Yeah, I agree.
mainly because you're saying that you're better than someone else at XYZ, and imagine being better at someone at everything except one thing. And the only way that I could see that being possible is if a person literally was in a vegetative state to where they literally were just a doll sitting there doing absolutely nothing, having no, like, not being able to do anything for themselves, much less for other people, right? So at that point, do you continue to let them live? So my perspective on it would be, for instance, I most likely would put them out of their misery, and I only say that because if a person, all right, I guess it kind of ties into religion too, because they talk about like mind, body, and soul, right? We all talk about those three things like they're three separate entities, right? So imagine a person's body is here, but their mind is gone, and their soul is and their body is here stuck on this earth. Wouldn't you want to like put them out of their misery so that they could come into contact with all three of those things again? Imagine like, being separated from that, and you're just basically delaying them from being reunited with that again, you know? But philosophical, I get it.
So
Like
we
that's very far stretched,
th-
I get it.
this is a completely different question then. So like, would
It
we
is.
pull the plug on a person that was fucking a vegetable, right?
That literally had no cognitive thinking. They couldn't think for themselves, couldn't take a shit by themselves, eat for themselves. They would literally, unless you helped them, unless a person was helping them, would not survive on their own. They would literally die from if they didn't have another person or a hospital taking care of them.
Yes.
I mean, I consider keeping them alive a form of torture.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
It depends. Like, it depends. There's so many. See, to me, this is. I hate these kind of questions because there's so much circumstance that there's so much involved in this question that I have
I know.
no way to fucking like process it because it's like, what do they mean to me? What are the situations leading up to that? Is there a possibility of them coming back? What are my financial like? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much going into that. It's like it's one of those
Yeah.
hypotheticals I hate because it's
Imagine I meant vegetative state as in they're beyond recovery. They are that
but
way.
you don't
And
know that because there have been people that have recovered from what because
Yeah.
but that's where you're saying you fully believe that the doctor is 100% right in that he knows without a doubt that that person cannot come back from that. But like I've heard of stories of people coming back from what doctors have said have been that. So like
There's-
that's where it's like like there's so much context that matters in those situations.
Mhm.
That's
See,
why I don't
wait,
like
but
those.
it seems like you're talking more about like a coma, though, Kyle. I don't think it doesn't seem like it's...
No, because there's people that have been in legit vegetative states and they've come back and they've been okay.
Well,
Or that the
if we
medical
could like,
professionals have said, no, they're like they're done. Their brain is not like, and then they've actually come back from it.
if a
I
doctor
know it's
tells you,
rare.
if a doctor tells you that, hey, your brother's brain dead, would you like to pull the plug on him? I think they're basing that on like some scans or some shit like that.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is that there's always a possibility within
Are-
that. So what's the context? Could if let's say that he does say that, but I could afford to keep him alive for 10 more years, easily. Do I do it?
No, you don't.
No.
It depends.
No, 'cause
Okay.
at that point, why are you
Let's
spending
say-
the
That's
money to?
question though. That is her question basically.
That is her question, but okay, so, but I'm saying like
How many
Lauren's
years until you give up on them?
and Lauren's hypothetical, like he's just not coming back.
Well, that's a ridiculous hypothetical. You're assuming you know the outcome. That's crazy. You can't assume to know the outcome of a hypothetical. You're saying, oh, it's guaranteed he's not coming back. Well, duh, of course I'm pulling the plug. So like, if it's a guarantee, but you
Well,
don't.
Lauren said that he's not coming, but
You never know if they're
That's-
coming back though.
But
That's the
the-
thing. That's
But, like,
the
You can't build a hypothetical that they're not coming back, but then say what
That's
would
a
you
guarantee.
do? Because that's never going to be the case in what's actually presented to him and what his decision would be. His decision would
Right.
never be made off of that because that's not what he's saying is that's not possible. Because all
Right.
the instances where that is the
Well-
case or where a doctor, they're brain dead, there are instances where that has been reversed.
So we need to ask more specific questions. The question is void because there's too many answers to it. There's too many factors that could play into the decision.
Well, there's too many factors with all these questions we've been asking. I mean,
Yeah.
you can take the question face value and say yes or no, or you can take the question and add shit to it to make it more contextual. I mean, that's part of answering the question. How
Yeah.
you respond to the question is exactly what the question is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like that one because like I have to ask you so many questions to get to what my response would be to that one.
well,
Right.
Lauren,
So my response would be like it depends on the circumstance of how he got into that position.
let's
So
ask
do you-
Lauren then. Lauren, what would you do and why?
Well, it's like he said, there's got to be context there, but I think that if somebody was in a vegetative state, whether I knew if they were, I don't. I'm a person that doesn't like to live my life off of what ifs, and if there was a what if he came back, like, do I want to take the chance? Probably not, because the most likely option is that they're not coming back, right?
Here-
Like,
Let me help you out. I've got a better one.
yeah, okay.
Let's say they're not in a vegetative state.
Okay.
Let's say that they are clearly, without a doubt, severely disabled, to the
Okay.
point where they will never function in society like we can.
Function how? Function as in like they have
As
no
in,
control
they
over their
are
limbs, their
severely
mind,
disabled.
their
They all are gonna do is lay in a bed all day and fucking make noises.
can they still speak to you?
No, that's all they do is make noises. They're barely coherent.
That's
all
a
they can
vegetative
do is
state.
kind of moan and fucking stare at stuff.
That kind of is the definition of being in a vegetative state then.
Okay, so are they born like that though, or did they get put into that state? Because the vegetative state would be like there's a possibility that they can come back to a normal setting.
Yeah,
What I'm saying is that they are so severely disabled from birth that there's no hope of them becoming like normal.
Look,
yeah, I don't think vegetative leans towards
if you
born
really
that
want to
way. I
ask
think it leans
me,
towards something happening.
I would most likely. I'm about to sound really bad. You guys are about to look at me differently.
It's all about it.
Oh,
No,
milk
I'll
the
still be
content,
looking at
baby.
you through the screen.
Let's go. Let's go.
I would most likely try to figure out those questions before the child was even born. If you know
So,
what I'm hinting at
okay,
here.
so like Kyle's saying, like, what would you do if your child was mentally ill, pretty much?
So
From birth.
I know this because I know someone who has a cousin who is in this situation where they are so severely disabled that they're never going to be anything more than a burden to the person that takes care of them.
Have they been like that since birth?
Yes.
It's hard. That's hard because if I was the parent, obviously the motherly instinct in that person wants to say keep it alive, because mothers need something to nurture, and even if they have to nurture that thing for however many years it takes.
Let me ask you a question, Lauren. So if you knew your kid, let's say you were pregnant and you knew your kid had autism or some mental disease or illness.
I would have to really fucking think about it. I can't tell you what I would do because I haven't been put in that situation.
What's that extreme though? Like what? Like
I would like
autism?
to think that I wouldn't bring a child that was like that into this world because I wouldn't want to
So
deal
you would
with,
abort your baby
most likely. If I knew it had no hope. I'll put it this way. I had
Well,
a
it's not-
lady,
well,
I notarized a paper for a lady that did
clarify
that.
what no
You
hope
don't
is.
have to clarify.
Clarify what no hope is, because no hope is like, is it going to die right after it gets born, or does it have autism or some other mental disease that it's not going to be normal?
If it just had autism or something, no, I wouldn't abort it because they can still function, right? Like they can still.
It depends though, because that comes down
Depends
to
on how severe it is, right?
Yeah,
But they can
exactly,
usually tell how severe it will be before the child is born, right?
That's not really true. It's
I
Is
don't
it?
think they can
You
tell
Are you
can't-
how.
sure?
You
in
don't.
some cases,
there's
yes, but
I'm not
in-
saying there's
Yeah.
like a
in very-
percentage
okay.
of, oh, it's gonna have 8% this, and like I'm not
in
saying.
very few cases you can tell physical deformities for
Okay.
sure, but as
Yeah.
far as mental deformities like autism, my wife actually does that for a living. You cannot predict autism until like 3 to 5 years old.
In
There's
which
just- you
case, I
don't-
would
you
most
don't
likely
have
not.
behavioral characteristics to
One of
attribute
my
to them.
Well, in
One of-
that case, then I would have hope,
Wait.
right? There wouldn't be no hope. There would still be the slim chance that it could come out, normal, with autism.
Okay, but just to make the question more spicy, if you knew that your kid was going to have autism, would you think about aborting your kid?
No, not with
Okay.
autism. Not with that. It would depend on the debilitating thing that was, because at that point, what if
What's
it's
the first? What's the first
Okay,
thing in
time
your
out.
mind? Wait. What's the first thing in your mind that tells you if my baby had this in the womb, I'm aborting it?
I don't know. I don't know
Hold
what
on.
the. Okay,
kind of a
what if
fucked up question.
what if it wants to? What if the baby could come out fine, but I wouldn't make it through the pregnancy? Imagine like being told, you know what, you're gonna have a baby, but you're not gonna make it. The baby will be fine, but you're gonna die. You will most likely not make it. Then what do you do?
Well,
I
you're
don't
asking
know
a bunch
what I
of
would do.
boys.
if
Wait,
I
Luke,
had to
Luke,
choose
what would you do?
between-
What
I
would
had
you
to
do, Luke?
choose-
For what?
Like,
What's the
let's say,
question?
let's say your partner was having a baby and like the baby would kill her, like having the baby would kill the baby. What would you
Who do you
do?
choose? Who do you choose, the baby or
Is
the?
there like any choosing or like who?
I feel like that's like a very everybody's gonna have their own personal answer to that question.
Yeah.
Well, everyone should have their own
Me
version.
personally,
Easier to make more babies than to find another wife. For
no,
me.
yeah, I think that it's completely up to the person carrying the child at that point.
And what if you didn't want them to, but they decided,
Then
here
I
you
would,
go, here, take care of this child when I'm gone.
Then I would hope under all circumstances that she made it through the pregnancy and against all odds. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like if there was like I feel like you're saying is if there was 100% chance
You're breaking
there's
up.
always a
I didn't
slim.
hear you. Wait, say it again.
Well,
God damn
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. One more time.
Yeah.
Nope.
I-
Nope.
You're
You're just doing it now. Now you're just doing it.
You're fucking with us, you bitch.
One of the things is like he's saying that it's up to the person who's giving birth, but like it's ultimately it's
I'm saying
always
that-
up to the person who's giving birth, no matter what your opinion is. Like my
Right,
opinion
right.
is-
That's what the doctor will say. The final decision is the woman giving birth. But what I was saying is you're making an hypothetical that it was like 100% chance that she was going to die in the pregnancy. But I don't think that there's ever 100% chance that
Exactly.
would you
Yeah,
ever
that's
support?
right.
Would you ever support aborting the baby?
No.
Under no circumstances.
No.
Zero.
And I'm
Okay.
100% against assisted suicide.
Well, then I'm gonna feed you another one that's gonna put you in a weird
Okay.
little box, because if you're 100% against aborting the baby, how about a baby that you go get an ultrasound and the baby's now dead? Are you forcing you verifiably know that that baby is no longer alive? There is nothing that is going to change.
Well, then it's
it,
not
it
an
is
abortion.
it's still the same procedure of an abortion. You're at
But
38
but the
weeks.
It's already
but the
You'll have to go
child's
through the
but
DNC,
the
where
child
they basically vacuum it out of you.
No, it's a
well
it's
if
a
you
fully
leave
formed
if you
baby.
leave yeah if you leave a dead baby inside of the
They are still going to
Okay.
give birth. They are still going to, their water is going to break at some point, and they are going to give birth.
but the baby's
Do
already
you-
dead. So-
Exactly. So do you go through the trauma and
the-
everything attached to childbirth, knowing that the baby is dead?
Or do you consent to the procedure to remove it?
What's the term for that?
It's a
Stillborn.
DNC. It's called a DNC. I forget what it stands for, but it's basically what they offered to me whenever I had my miscarriage. Because after I had my miscarriage, they basically asked me, or they did an ultrasound to confirm that the baby was gone, and it was, but there was still a lot of what's called afterbirth, like the stuff that the tissue and stuff that creates. They basically told me that if I didn't get it out, that it may or may not cause an infection inside of my womb, right? So they asked me if I wanted to have a DNC performed to suck the rest of that out. And because I was already so fucking traumatized by everything that had already happened to me, I was like, I don't want a vacuum in my vagina, so no, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, well, you have to do something because you're going to die of an infection if you don't. And I was like, at the time, I wasn't thinking clearly, and I was just like, you know what? I'd rather die. Just don't fucking touch me. I'll go home and lay down. If I don't wake up, whatever. And then they were like, okay, well, this is what you have to do. We're going to give you some pills. Will you consent to taking these pills that, when you take them, will help
It's like
flush it out over time rather than all at once?
It's
And
like X-Lax, but for a different part of the body.
exactly. And so that's what
More or
I
less.
chose. I chose that over the DNC because I just didn't want any more things coming in or out, right? So
Looking back at it now, would you have fucking got a vacuum or whatever? Did the first option?
no, I wouldn't have. I didn't want to have to go through any more than I already had, because at that point I had lost so much blood. Like I already was going, like like I didn't even go to the doctor when it happened. I didn't go to the reason that they were trying to get it out so quickly and wanted me to do the DNC is because it had been days after the miscarriage when I finally decided to go. Cause I was really weak after it happened. I literally slept for like 17 hours straight because I had lost so much blood. Like my boyfriend at the time had to like poke me every few hours because he thought I was gonna fucking die. Like we really thought I was gonna die. I told him I was lying on the bathroom floor and I asked him to pick me up and put me in the bed and whatever happens happens, and he did. He put me in the bed and I slept for 17 hours and I woke back up, and then a couple days later I went to the doctor and
Why didn't you go to the
had
doctor immediately?
um because I had just miscarried a child and was traumatized, and the last thing I wanted to do was spend my time in a really cold building being stared at by a bunch of people. And like I already had blood all over me. It was a fucking crime scene. Like I didn't want to have to like my boyfriend wanted to just pick me up and take me, but I wasn't clothed for it. I wasn't ready for it. I was still like fainting and shit, throwing up. He was literally picking my head up out of my own throw up. Like it was awful. It was fucking awful. So the last thing I wanted to do is be in a hospital.
I
Based on
don't think
that,
it, I
based
don't
on
think
that,
anybody in Lauren's condition is hospital ready, for the record. But go ahead, Kyle.
based on that, do you think that that would make you more inclined to choose your child's life over yours?
Yes, I would most likely choose the child's life over my own if I knew that it would be provided for. If
Okay.
I
Okay.
if I thought that when I died it was gonna end up in fucking foster care and end up like I don't know. I don't know. I
That's
don't
hot.
know.
That's hot.
I
Okay,
I would
let's
I would
circle
have I
back.
would
I
think
don't know
about a
why.
lot.
Kyle,
Let's
that's
just
hot.
slide past that. Let's circle
I
back.
love
Let's circle
babies,
back.
Luke. What can I say?
Luke,
That's hot.
would
Yes,
you
Captain.
be okay with them sucking out dead fetus from a vagina?
I feel like
Life.
this is like such a wrong question to ask a dude.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel
past.
like-
I feel
I
like
s-
past what happens to the baby and the wife in the context of life, there's not much input from a guy. If there's a miscarriage,
Well,
it's no
Luke's
longer.
talking about he doesn't support any abortions, and I would argue that's in the same vein.
Yeah,
So, like,
personally, but
okay,
if
you
the
could have a
person
personal
that was
opinion on the
having a
first thing.
child, right? If the female spouse, girlfriend, whatever that I was having a child with, if they were for abortion, I wouldn't try to convince them to not abort the child if they wanted to. But me personally, if I had the choice, or if someone was asking my input, I would say personally, I am not. I don't.
And I'm with
I don't
Luke on
want to have
that
an
because
abortion.
I'm sort of with Luke on that. I do believe in pro-choice, but at the same time, I personally wouldn't get the abortion. Like I wouldn't get an like if me and Kaden got pregnant, I wouldn't get an abortion. I wasn't planning on getting an abortion even when I was about to have a kid with some guy that I was already breaking up with. Like,
To be
you know,
fair, my wife
I
is.
literally thought I was going to be a single mother. I when I got pregnant, I thought for sure I was going to be raising a child on my own. Like that was my intention.
Right.
I like to add that I love how you say it, that when me and Caden get pregnant, as if he's gonna handle all that pain that you're
Morning
gonna be
sickness
going
and
through.
And that's another thing.
cramping
Yeah,
and-
that's another thing I thought was always weird. It's like, oh, we're pregnant. I was like, no, just you. Like,
No, motherfucker, just you. I'm
just
still
you.
gonna sleep real nice at night.
You're the
My
one
Yeah.
going
balls
through mood
don't
changes
inflate
and
to the
the
size
of a
food
watermelon.
cravings. The
That's
guy's
actually-
just like on the side, like, "I'll fuck that."
All I
shit."
did was a bust in
That's actually something that fascinates me about the whole process is that you can't do it without two, but one
Mhm.
person bears the burden of the whole process. And like
True.
that's kind of a fascinating thing about like the whole life thing is that like you can't do it without the two supplemental things, but one person has to bear the full burden of the thing.
And the most amazing thing is that after all these thousands and thousands of years of women getting pregnant by men and the men fathering the children, men still do not know how to support the women during their pregnancy. It's just like I don't know what the fuck to do.
Well,
Every
see,
woman-
Well, they got
here's-
doctors telling them move the fuck out
I'm
of the
gonna-
way. Let me take care of
I'm
this.
going to
Yeah.
intervene as probably the only person here who has kids.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
do.
That
Yes.
it's very hard to know what they need when women as wholes don't know what the fuck they need.
Assholes.
Assholes, women
Assholes?
assholes, assholes.
Women assholes.
Can't agree.
King of the North, King of the North.
Women
Women
assholes.
during like hold on. Speaking of children.
Speaking of assholes.
This goes to
Speaking
show
of
that
assholes.
men have been clueless for thousands of years, and we still are.
It's because of how
What would you do, Tickles?
I guess I agree with Van's point here, which is women are so fucking confusing and vague. Like,
How do you
what do
take?
we
What
have
do
to
you?
go
What do
off
you
of?
do if you're in the delivery room while your child's being born? What do you do?
I'm enjoying the sights.
Eating a
Oh,
pizza on the sideline?
I'm
Yeah.
hoping I can pull that bitch out.
I think the delivery room is probably the easiest part because I'm talking about the whole fucking 9
You're just
months
there.
before that. Like,
Are
the
you gonna
delivery
hold?
room
Like,
is
if we want to go back to those days, then you can just help me. All I need is for you to like prop me up, just hold me up while I squat.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
say
I
that
need.
now. You say that now.
in like the delivery room, the doctor is mainly the one who's handling it. The nurses are the mainly ones who's handling it. I'm talking about the 9 months of where the woman is like, I want chicken wings. No, I want olives. No, I want this. No, I want this. No, I want this. And if you give them the wrong fucking thing, like there's been a lot of women that
Yeah, this is where
they
Van.
smell something
I'm back.
and it just makes them fucking puke because they're like, oh shit, because the
So,
pregnancy has fucked them up so
For the
much.
guys in the chat, that's actually a really fun part of pregnancy. Because for me, like my wife, if I cooked deer meat at all, she'd want to throw up. And so
It was Velveeta cheese for me.
I was hunting, we had a shitload of deer meat. That's the whole point. And so I would cook it and it's hilarious to play the catch-22 game because when you don't cook, then you get bitched at for like I have to do all the cooking, but then I go to cook. She's like, I'm gonna throw up. It's like, well, either cook or shut up. I don't know
Or
what.
step outside. I don't know what you want.
Yeah,
to say.
I
go
don't
somewhere
blame
else.
her.
Catch
What do
these
you want
hands.
from me?
I don't blame her for that though. I hate the smell of
True.
deer meat cooking. I
Aw.
mean, the taste is all right, but the smell of it cooking to me is just gross. I don't know what it is, but it smells different, and to me, the smell of it cooking is just
What's your
absolutely
heritage?
Bitch.
I am Luke from Bitch.
Don't bully our host, Tickleware. Don't fucking do this dumb shit where we
Jimmy,
bully
pull
people.
up the stats on how bitch tickle is. No.
I come from the bitch lands.
Let me see his percentage of bitch.
Specific town called Bitchville.
I did a whole ancestry test, and I'm at least 97% beach.
It's like you're from the beach? No, I am
No.
beach.
He's made of sand.
This is actually something that I'm super curious about, though. Is like, does your heritage have any play on what your preferred diet is? Because, like, my main heritage is Norwegian, and so I've looked up like what Norwegians eat, because like, how many thousands of years have our ancestors eaten the same shit? And then now all of a sudden we're just eating whatever the fuck.
Now we mainly eat cow and chicken and pork. That's the
Yeah,
three
yeah,
things
yeah.
we mainly eat. But we used to eat a whole lot more of lamb and deer and antelope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You speak of the true.
So, I don't think ancestry has anything to do with what we like to eat. I think that's more of a.
Well, I don't know.
I'm
about
sorry,
like.
I do not speak beach.
I think he's
I
talking
don't
about
mean
like
as much as
like being lactose
genetic-
intolerant or
genetic necessity is what I get at. Is like if
Well,
you're
genetic,
if
yeah.
humans were raised on a certain diet for thousands of years, and then it changes, like how much effect is that having?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, for thousands of years we used to eat raw meat, and so we had, what was it, the gallbladder,
No,
or one of
no.
those.
Try again. I'm not telling you. I'm gonna
Appendix.
let you circle. You son of a bitch.
It's not the appendix.
It
It's
is.
It is your appendix.
the
That's why it's
appendix.
removable.
It used to
Oh.
be a second like stomach for us.
Yeah, and it would digest those foods that are raw and usually carry a lot of diseases. Now it's become almost completely useless to us because we cook our foods now. So over time we evolved to not really need it anymore, and so part of it is, yeah, genetics have a lot to play in what we can and cannot eat and what we can and not drink. Part of it is just how society and people have evolved into a next form that is, well, weaker or stronger depending on your context, where we can't eat raw meat anymore.
At
Hmm.
least it's not wise to. At least.
Or drink out of streams anymore without a filter.
I'm looking at my ancestry
Yeah,
right
you
now.
could totally do that.
I've drunk. I've had a
I've
few
done it.
drinks out of a stream.
Yeah,
Done
there's plenty of streams you can drink out of. They're
Mhm.
just fine.
I've done it. I did
Uh,
it on a hike because I was like, I'm running out of water, but I was next to a stream, but I
Moving-
literally saw where it came from. Anyway, continue.
Listen, so okay, so I have some experience with this. First of all, moving water is usually safe, but second of all, I go up to Boundary Waters a lot. Okay, Boundary Waters is the north of Minnesota, and it's partially into Canada as well, and it's just lakes and riverways that are untouched for the most part by machines. It's the only thing that's allowed in it is boats and whatnot. All we do to drink water from those lakes is we paddle out a little ways and we go below the surface and we fill our jugs. These are stagnant lakes, by the way, and we drink that water just fine. I've drank that water. Most of the people that have come up there have drank that water and been just fine. So
What's below the water? Is it mud? Is it dirt? Is it
No,
all
sand?
the
Is
shit
it rocks?
floats to
Are
the
there?
top.
shit floats. I mean, it's
All the
shitty-
bad
And all the
shit
bugs
floats.
and shit, all
yeah,
the bugs.
shit floats. So like,
No, I asked because like they say algae on rocks. Like if there's rocks under there and there's algae on those rocks, that's also like a natural
well,
filter.
that's why you
Well,
go
that's why
out
you
a ways.
paddle out a little ways,
You
so you're not
paddle-
filling it up right next to
yeah.
algae.
So we learned this. We originally learned this from the
Cub Scouts.
what are they called? No, close.
Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts.
No. Think governmental.
Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts.
Think governmental.
Aztecs,
The
Romans.
Illuminati.
Aztecs. No, the park rangers.
The
thank you.
Freemasons. The Freemasons.
Thank you for no help. Thank you for your no help. The park rangers, they told us that's what they do, because it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Like they just.
You
go
said
out.
we learned this. I thought we like as a people, not we as in you guys specifically.
Okay, so the park rangers would go out. They would go out like 100 feet from shore, to where it's deeper water. They would go down about an arm's length, and they would just fill their canteens like that, and they would just drink that water, and that was fine. And we've done that ever since. And I remember when we first heard that from a ranger, I did it at the end of our Boundary Waters trip. I went out and I did it that way at the very end, because I was like, well, if I get sick at the end, like, I'll be back in.
Yeah.
I'm going
back
home.
in
I can go to
civilization.
a hospital.
Yeah. I go to hospital if I'm gonna die. And I did it, and I was like, it was fine. And I've done it ever since, and I've never had a problem. And it's like, and this is not like crisp, clear water. Like, this is minerally fucking dirty brown water. Like, it's just
Whoa,
fine.
whoa.
Mm-hmm.
How long
Yeah,
is
you
this
can't say dirty
podcast
brown.
gonna go? What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm-
I think we should definitely backtrack to way like 10,000 steps back for.
This is
Thanks.
the exact
Yeah.
podcast that I've dreamed of.
Yes, bring it back to me.
Yeah.
This is
What's the
probably my
difference?
favorite.
Are you
Strong
better as a
conversations
human
with
or are
the
you better
boys.
as a person?
All right, we actually need to ask Van. The third question is: do you think at birth, do you think humans are inherently good or evil?
Your
No,
mom.
and
No.
I can say that from having a kid. that up until they're like 3 or 4, there's no thought in their head. It's all just kind of
Right.
existence and functioning.
Smooth
Would
brain.
you, Van, would
It-
you say
Walmart
that
bets,
it's
mate.
opportunistic?
Sorry, Walmart bets.
It's very squirrel-like. It's
Would you-
whatever gets their attention.
Cool.
It's
There's-
instinctual. It's instinctual
Yes.
for the fawn to care to
But
stay by the
there's-
mother's side, to the
but
the
then
doe's side.
I would caveat that with
What do you
there's
mean
no
you came out
real
worse?
good or bad. Like
Like you think worse as a person? Like,
you
yeah,
could bring like
everybody
race.
sucks.
If you bring race into it, racism is a thing that's built from people as adults. Kids don't
taught.
give a shit. Kids
Right.
don't differentiate past. Okay, they're a different color. They still interact with them the same way.
Mhm.
Like you're black, you're
Well-
white, but you're both talking to me, so I'm going to talk to both of you. You've got a toy. I want to play with it. It doesn't matter who has it. It has nothing. There's nothing negative about it, and the same goes for the positive. There's some level of interest, but the concern gets taught and gets picked up. That's why up until like 7 to 8 years old is the most influential time for a child in how you develop, because what you're taking in is what you're learning how to project.
So what you're saying is until like 3 or 4, it's basically just
It's just there.
survival.
Like my
It's-
Adeline's 3.5, and the last handful of months is where she's started to like get an attitude and a personality and decide for herself, like, no, I don't want this. Yes, I do want that. Like you told me something and I want to hit you or swing this book at you because you told me no, I can't have a cookie. Like that wasn't when a baby's born up until they're almost a year old, they just lay there, they cry, they poop, and they look at shit. They don't do anything. There's no inherent good or evil in them because there's that cognitive level is not there.
Well,
They're just observing things.
How about humanity as a whole? Do you think it's good or evil?
I think the society around humanity has set it up to be evil societally.
But
I think
humanity is
individually there's a lot more good than people realize or see or give credit to.
It's like the thing I was saying by going over to like your neighbor's house or something, like, talking to your neighbors, you'll find that most people are more often friendly than the
like
news or media is portraying it.
Opportunity. Like
what?
I said,
I
I
think
don't like
it's
viewing things as good or bad in
There's better
general, because
opportunity with it
society is
within a
what
social
tells us
structure.
what is good or bad. Like imagine, and a lot of the bad, we only see it as bad. I think it's heavily revolved around fear because, for instance, like we were saying, racism is not something that you are born with, right? It's something that's taught. But like, how do you explain that to dogs that like bark at black people because they've never seen it before? They fear it because it's something it's fear of the unknown, right? So it's automatically deemed as a bad thing, and they start barking at that person because it's a thing they've never seen before. Just like in the caveman days, we think fire is bad because it hurts when you touch it. Like it's the fear of getting touched by it that you think the fire is bad. It's
Well,
just we
well,
think good
Nikki,
and bad is just it
I'm
just
fucking
is. Like
tired.
fire burns. It just is.
I
Does it have to be
don't- I
bad?
don't-
there's a lot of
fucking bad.
assumptions in what you just
I don't
said.
think that's evil though. I think
Well, yeah.
evil and fear are two different things. There's
They
a
are.
whole group of there's whatever that fucking island is off the coast of like Sri Lanka
Yeah,
where
yeah.
those people
They-
have been untouched by civilization, period.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
when
Mhm.
helicopters and shit fly over, they
They
shoot
shoot at
bows at it because they don't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Fear
They're
of
not
the
shooting
unknown.
at it because they know that person and fuck Bill and his helicopter. I want him dead.
It's because they don't know what
I
it
can
is.
have this
Yeah.
helicopter.
The fear of
That's
not
as big of a
knowing what
fucking
it
airline.
is. They don't know whether it's good or bad. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't
so,
think that
They're
is
like-
inherent evil. I think that's just
No, I agree.
survival, self-preservation. They don't know what it is, so
Well, I do think they know that killing another human is probably bad, right? Could we make that assumption? I think we.
I don't know.
I think they have
don't
that
know.
understanding, or else.
They don't care, dude.
I disagree.
But I'm saying, like, even they might think that some other people coming and they might be invading them, and that's why they might like show violence towards them. But I think they know that murdering somebody else is probably a bad thing.
I disagree. I disagree.
I
I
think-
entirely
as
disagree.
well.
I think
You
that's
should
I
look
think
in-
that's
You
very
should look into Japanese culture.
I think that's
like-
very based
Well-
on morality, but I also
Mhm.
think morals come with like cognitive advancement. And
Moral is the determination between good and bad.
I think if that specific group of people are not going to be cognitively at the same place that the rest of the world is, because they are not a part of the rest of the world and the advancements that happen.
Yeah, but what does that
They-
have to do with like the original question or the original statement? I'm just saying, like, I think they know that murdering somebody else is probably a bad thing. Now, I don't know this
No,
for sure.
that is a
Maybe it's not necessarily that it's bad. Maybe it's just they don't do
They
it
see it as a
because
necessary
lesser
thing.
numbers. Like why would they want lesser numbers? They're trying to build a civilization there, right? You know,
Well,
obviously.
Okay, well then
You're-
killing somebody
you're
else in their society would be bad under that definition.
No,
like
yeah,
they want
killing
more
one of
people.
them.
Killing one of
would
them.
be bad.
But that's
what
what
they
I
have
mean.
deemed as their society. Our society has deemed killing anyone is bad. That is what
Yeah.
we as a people collectively have reached
decided.
and have
No,
built
I-
our morals upon.
But I'm saying when they throw arrows at other people, it's not because they don't know murder is a bad thing. They know murder is a bad thing, but they think these people are bad for coming and trying to invade them or whatever they think. Because I really don't know. But I'm saying I think that murder.
I think that's your perception, but what is deemed good or bad, what you
Well,
deem as good or bad, does not mean that's what they deem as good or bad.
Yeah.
Which
I-
is
I
why
just-
good and
I
bad
just
is
think
really subjective. And like,
it
I
is
think because
subjective.
they kill them and they celebrate because it's good for them and they wear their fucking skull
so
on a
is
necklace.
there good and
But I'm
bad?
saying I think they
What is
know
this,
that
Forrest?
murder is a bad.
I mean, that's just assuming that every society and every unit of families and communities assume that murder is bad. But if you like try to imagine a community where
Cannibals.
killing people is actually a good thing, like they've been brought up to believe that sending somebody into the next life, into a better life, is a good thing. So the women are there.
So
to
why
give
is
birth.
everybody alive then?
So the women are there to give birth to the warriors who will send people into the next life. The warriors are the ones who will train themselves to send people in the next life because they believe they're doing a good, right? And whoever they meet, it's not part of their tribal community or their society. They're like, okay, we got to help these people leave these flesh bags that we call human skin into the next better life, the more spiritual connection point of all human life. So they deem themselves the ones that will send other people to a better life. So their entire belief is that killing people is actually a good thing. I mean, it's all just societally based.
We just go into
It's-
fucking
which is the
human
point I've been
sacrifice.
Wait,
trying
did
to
you-
make the whole time. There is no good or bad. It's all on what
Are
society.
you reading this off of
as
somebody?
a
Like, is there
whole.
like an article, a research article, or are you just like assuming?
No,
Like I
it's
was.
not assuming. It's a theoretical question.
Well,
Okay.
no,
I think
if you look at the
factual. I think it's
Mayans,
factual.
Well,
I
you
agree.
can't
I
say
think
it's
that's
factual when you don't have anything to back it up. That's the
I
whole.
have history. I have history
Right.
backing up.
Okay,
I have
well-
the history that I know of.
That's what I was asking
Like,
Weddy. Like, is there
listen-
something that backs what his claim is? Go ahead.
I mean,
even going back, like I don't have to go back that far. I have to go back to the Japanese in World War II. The Japanese in World War II believed that they were the fucking superior being. They were the number one. They were the fucking incarnate of godliness and greatness. They believed that. Like, everything they did was better, and
their cause is just.
their cause was fucking ultimate. it was the thing to fight and die for, and people did. They fought and died for that, and they forced others to fight and die for that, whether they wanted to or not. Like they forced that will upon other people, like on top of what they believe, and they made that thing a reality. They did everything they could. They didn't win though, because
There were people that sacrificed
best.
animals so that it would
Okay,
fucking rain for
but
their crops that year, you know? Like,
we're not talking about the Japanese though. We're talking about some
The
some
Well,
Mayans,
tribes.
All societies.
Aztecs.
tell-
We're
Includes
talking
the
about
Japanese.
Egyptians
talking about
sacrificed
Japanese.
babies.
giving an example, yeah.
See,
Well,
you're trying
Just
to
like
restrict this
another
to only
example.
like Western culture, but that
no,
doesn't
I'm
make
not.
sense.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you're like Kyle's example is saying like the Japanese, like he probably watched some documentaries like saying this, but I'm saying like, is there any articles or any information on why they might want to live by themselves and might attack other like people that try to invade their lands? That's all I'm trying to say. Like anything factual or anything that was researched, that way we could actually like not be assuming to what they actually
I'm not
want.
assuming. I'm not assuming. If you read about the Japanese
Oh, we're talking
culture,
about. I was
this is an
I was
example.
saying that
First of
these
all-
people probably think murdering somebody else is a bad thing, and they
Actually,
probably
I
shouldn't do
no,
it.
they don't.
That's what
No,
that
they
was my.
don't.
But I'm saying probably. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm
Neither
trying
do
to
you.
help you then. I'm trying to
Okay,
help
but you don't know either, Kyle.
No,
That's
I
the
do.
whole
I
point.
know a lot
Oh,
about World War II. I'm very well read on World War II and the Japanese atrocities. in
Okay,
World
I
War
don't
II.
care
I'm
about the
very well
Japanese.
read
I'm
on
talking about this specific thing
okay,
that we're
but
talking
this
about.
Caesar,
applies.
no.
This
No, but
applies.
you can't ask him for evidence and then say he doesn't know when he's trying to tell you the evidence he's come across.
I do.
You're
and then
asking
you
if
also
he
did
has any
say-
evidence for it, and then when he tells you what he's found and what he's come across, that would be the evidence you're asking for. You're saying you don't care what he
Wait,
knows, but the
okay,
basis
let me-
of what he knows is what he's seen, what he's read, documentaries he's watched from other
Kyle.
people who have researched it and are spreading their knowledge.
Okay, but Kyle says, but Kyle is saying, but I do know about this other completely different people involved in World War II that I know about. I'm not talking about the Japanese, Kyle. I'm talking about this specific example where there's a tribe in the middle of the ocean on an island that attack anybody. Right? Like, am I going crazy?
No, okay, so what? Okay,
So you're
time out.
saying the Japanese are like this, so this tribe is probably like this, and
So
that's
then
what
it's
I'm trying to say.
possible
No,
for
no,
that
no, no.
tribe
Sure,
to be that way.
but like Kyle is saying, I know, like he
Okay,
actually
time out,
knows
time
what the
out,
fuck
time
these
out.
people are thinking.
Time
That's
out,
what I'm
time out.
saying.
All right, so let's get at this. Let's get at this. I like this. I like this. Let's get at this. Okay, so you're saying what is it that you're trying to convey?
I'm saying, okay, so you guys, we kind of slipped into this by saying like, hey, like there's this tribe in the middle of the ocean. They don't morally, we don't know where they're at, right? Like they think killing, because they kill anybody that comes around their island. So we probably think that killing somebody to them isn't on the same moral scale as Western civilization. So I was like, okay, but they probably do think killing somebody else is a bad thing.
Probably.
That's-
You're using the word probably. You don't know factually, which is why he's giving the evidence that
Lord, but that's why I'm using the word probably, because I have no fucking clue what these people are thinking. And then Kyle's saying like, yes, but I know because the Japanese are like this, and I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, saying like, wait, what?
Okay.
he's
So
saying
You see what I
that
mean?
they
all right,
could be.
I see what you're saying. I get it.
But then what we were
you're-
arguing about
but
originally.
I'm using historical evidence to show why I believe that they felt this way about it. So you're saying they felt killing was wrong, but they only felt killing was wrong in a very certain way.
Okay, but yes, but I'm saying like, so you're kind of agreeing with me then. You think, so you're saying they probably know killing is bad, but like in the way they're doing it, it's probably a good thing for them.
Exactly.
Right?
So
Okay.
what I'm saying is that like
Probably because
they
we don't
believe-
know.
But they believe they are superior.
Well,
And
Well,
they
we
deserve to
don't
win.
we don't know that though. That's the whole thing. But
we kind of do.
The
But
point is
my-
that it could go either way, and we don't know. I really don't want to like
I
Well,
think
it sounds kinda like we
statistically
do, like-
speaking, they're gonna kill anybody who comes closer, so they're probably okay with killing, and it's okay with them, you know.
Well, the
I think
Texans can
so,
shoot
but I
someone
think
for
we were
walking in their
arguing.
front yard. Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
and,
but
not their yard, but their
what
house.
what we were arguing about is like if killing for them is actually perceived as a bad thing. That's what we were arguing about. Like, oh,
but
by
you're
sending
trying.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, no. Go ahead.
But your guys' argument was like, okay, they probably don't think killing is a bad thing because they probably send somebody to heaven or whatever, like their equivalent to heaven, and that's a good thing for them.
So I think that actually, now that we look upon all of history, I think the only time in all of human history where society as a whole thought that killing anyone was a bad thing is in our today, in our current modern Western society. In all of human history, you could see that killing a certain group of people was okay. And you had the Egyptians enslaving the Jews. That was okay to kill them because they were just slaves. You had all types of people from all different cultures killing other people because it was okay, because they were less than that they were. The only time in human history when killing anyone at all, no matter their religion, their sex, anything, was bad, is in today's modern Western civilization. That's the only time in human history have we ever thought that killing anyone was bad. And all the
Right.
rest of human history, killing somebody was seen was, if it's our people, it's bad. If it's somebody else, it's good. That's it.
Well, that's an interesting point, because what you're saying is interesting, but we're also in a position of power too.
Yeah.
So because there's I bet there's people that have believed what you said, but they were not in the position of power to believe that way. Because I bet there's been plenty of societies that have believed that like everyone was okay, but they weren't in the position of power to determine that amongst all the other people.
I bet if we were in
I
the
think whenever all the
1600s,
when all the town folk get together for a good lynching, you know, they didn't see that as bad.
right,
You
we would
know?
all have a block party,
was their
fucking stoning
entertainment,
everybody
yeah.
else.
But no,
That was their
but
entertainment.
Horrible.
I agree with Tickle on this one, because what he's saying is true, is that like the modern U.S. society believes that most people are like cool and like we shouldn't kill them just because of like what they feel or what they believe or what they are.
Which
Like
I can agree with, but
this all stemmed with like, are humans inherently bad or good? But and because of that, I was like, I think people know that murdering like other people that are like them are still bad. So I that's why I say like I think these people know that, you know, murder is bad, but like you guys are phrasing it like, okay, but we could murder other people and it could be a good thing because they're not like us.
How it used to be.
But I'm saying like this, but they know it's a bad thing to take life.
No,
What's up?
you
Go
know
ahead.
it's a bad thing. And that's because you've been raised in this Western culture where that has affected your morals.
No.
They have not experienced that, so they may not view it as bad.
Well,
which brings me back to my whole other point, which is that good or bad
let me-
really isn't.
let
doesn't
me
exist. Shouldn't
respond.
exist.
Let me respond.
It only exists in here.
I'm not talking about Western society, because even back in the day when we were fucking cavemen, it was advantageous if we kept each other alive. Would you say that? Would that be fair to say?
Right. I mean,
No.
it would.
no.
Okay. Okay. Then I can't make that argument because we're not on the same definitions then. But
Because I don't understand.
I think people since the dawn of time knew that it was advantageous to keep other people alive for the good of themselves, and that's why they know that if they kill that person, it's probably not a good thing.
Then why were there so many wars?
Well, but that's not the
Because
point
it wasn't
though. I'm talking.
advantageous to
think
have
about-
those people alive.
Think about if you're like in the same tribe, right? Okay, well, I go and I kill your fucking brother because he fucking looked at me wrong. Are you gonna think that's bad that I killed him?
Let's just go back. Let's
But-
forget
okay.
tribes.
It's a bad thing.
Yes.
Civilization.
Yes, that is a
Go
bad
all
thing.
the
I think
way-
they would think it's a bad
Right.
thing.
Let's
yeah.
go all the way back to like
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
one
saying.
caveman, he was just hanging out by himself and he's in the fucking wilderness, and then he suddenly spots another caveman. He's gonna think, okay, this caveman's probably a good caveman. He'll probably help me out with a lot of shit. And that caveman starts making a lot of fucking noise and starts bringing all the beasts of nature into the area. So I don't think killing based off if they're human or not is what matters. I think what killing is based off whether their worth is. So he's gonna kill him if he's not worth anything. If he's bringing danger into the area, yeah, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna think it's completely okay. But if he's foraging bushes, or if he's helping him hunt, or if he's building a hut, then that's when he'll see the worth of that person and be like, okay, it's not okay to kill him. I think back in ancient, very ancient times where it's just caveman and caveman, worth is the only thing that kept cavemen from killing each other.
I think curiosity is what kept people from killing each
Yeah,
other
because
back
back
in the day.
then, if somebody got something,
It's not like somebody was a mild inconvenience and you fucking slaughtered them. I don't think that was the case.
But
Sorry.
The threat of death is
But you
You
could, and I'm arguing that they probably thought it was a bad thing if they killed somebody else.
Not
they
necessarily.
probably didn't because there was no
Okay,
such thing
okay,
as
okay.
ego.
Okay, that's what we're arguing then. Yes.
This is the thing. This is what I'm getting at. Is if
Hmm.
you were raised in a society, okay, that people that looked like you and believed like you were the most valuable thing in the fucking world. And that's what some of these societies have evolved into, and they work towards, was that they were the penultimate, they were the number one. And so if someone believed as you did and looked as you did, they were the number one, and everyone else that believed differently was fucking wrong and deserved to die.
Yes,
That is how
but
it
they
works.
probably thought that by murdering these people, like they still probably thought that
By
murder was a
murdering
bad
them,
thing.
they were doing the society a
Themselves
good.
a
Okay,
favor.
but you're
That
more
was a
talking
net
about
positive.
then you're more talking about more fucking developed society then. You're talking about the
No, I'm not.
Japanese and like the Nazis.
No,
Like,
I'm not.
they actually thought
society in general.
I don't I think wars, I think to start a war you have to at least like were we having wars back in like the fucking Ooga Booga days?
We were having
Since
wars.
I think
dawn of time.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
needed to be a little bit more developed in the
But
brain.
they weren't associated with everyone like we were. We
am-
are so spoiled because we are associated with all these cultures from around the world. We watch anime. We watch fucking all kinds of shit.
We eat
from
all
around
types
the
of different
world.
foods now.
We know
What
about
the
Russian
fuck does this
culture.
have anything to do with what
This
we're
is
talking about?
everything. Listen.
Are you
listen to
saying
me.
because I'm of a Western culture I can't possibly
No,
think?
because you're of a modern culture, is what I'm saying. You don't
Yeah.
listen to me. We have the knowledge of all these things. If you were back in the day, if you were raised in a society that only experienced your society and had nothing to do with any other societies, when you saw that other society, you would probably view it as some sort of a fucking taboo or a negative or a net like
Okay, and
negative on your
And you know why
society.
we
I
view
think
things
I'm
as
trying.
good or bad? Ego. It's all the ego.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. But like, so do you think like we instantly resort to like, oh, this person's not like me, we kill him?
Most often,
of-
yes.
Do
most
so
history,
back
yeah.
Culturally.
Mm,
Not today.
You're
In our
see,
culture.
you feel,
I don't know.
I feel like you're feeling this sort of warmth and like acceptance towards things, and I feel like that's a negative because
No,
that's
sure.
not
That
how they would have
could
felt
that
it.
could be what you think of what I think right now, Kyle. But I'm saying like I think these people generally thought that murder was a bad thing and killing other people was a bad thing. That's
Because
what I'm.
you think that way. Because you
Yeah,
think that you want to believe that
But
other
this
people
is
would also
why.
think
But
that.
Lauren, this is why when we go back to the Neanderthal days, I'm saying, okay, then why didn't they just murder anybody and anyone that just
They
stepped
did.
in front of them?
How do you know they didn't?
Well, I don't know, but
this is
there's a
where
lot of assumptions going on both sides. But like, I think it was advantageous regardless to keep people alive. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Right.
well, this is where
Until
my point
we
comes
got
from.
into cults when we
This-
like started to develop more
this
a
is
more
where
complex thinking process.
my point of opportunity comes in is that if there was opportunity in someone, but that also has layers to it because like you're assuming everyone's growing up right next to each other, and then they have this socialization with this other tribe. Imagine a tribe spending 400 years growing up all by itself, only within its own means, only within its own culture, only with its own thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, 400 years later, multiple generations of growing up, you incorporate someone else's fucking entire culture in. You don't know how you're gonna handle that. I don't know how I would handle that.
Caesar, you need to watch Encino Man. For real though, like, right? Am I right?
Straight off the
Like-
bat, just with Insano, man. Here we go.
Just watch
I don't know.
Encino Man.
I'm
Things will
not-
make better sense.
Look, yes, I do think that we tend to like each other. I think we tend to like people that look like us, that talk like us, that et cetera, et cetera. But I just think like,
That accept the same things as us.
yeah, but I think like if somebody wrongs you, then yes, that culture might like eventually want to like kill everybody else besides them or whatever. But I think people generally view
Doesn't even-
keeping
Why
people
do
alive
you
as
feel like it needs to be that they wronged you?
well, it's because fucking you.
It's your view. It's your ego on it. If you just saw it for what
Why
it
are
was.
you
It's just like-
attacking me, Lauren? I'm not attacking you
not.
guys. I'm not
I'm
I'm not
not.
ad homing you
No,
guys. I'm just saying what I think. But attack my argument, not myself. Like
am
you,
attacking
I can't.
your
I'll attack
I can't be like.
myself.
I can't be like
attacked
Kyle.
you. We're attacking your
Yes,
argument.
you
for
guys are
sure.
attacking me. You guys are saying, but
In which
this
way
is
have
because
we
you're
attacked you?
because you guys are saying because you think because you're a snowflake, Caesar. You probably wouldn't know about this.
None of
That's
us has
attacking
done
you.
that.
You
No,
are
that's not.
you
I'm
are
giving you
the
I'm giving you an
the
example.
only person who's used the word snowflake.
Yeah, but
Nobody said that.
Nathan,
We
I
said
am
nothing
giving
about
an
your character and
example.
everything about your
Yes,
argument.
Lauren's saying shit about my character just now, and
No,
Kyle
she
was
said
like,
because you think that.
no,
Which is your argument is what you think.
Yeah,
So we're
but
talking
that's
about
the
what
whole
you think.
point of this shit. Obviously, Kyle's what he thinks. That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah,
So stop
and that's what
attacking my
the point
Discrediting
is.
character.
him because it's what he thinks.
I'm not discrediting anyone. Look,
I'm not discrediting
Kyle,
you.
let me give you this example.
You're
Let
saying
me
people inherently don't want to kill other people. And
let
I'm
me-
just
look,
disagreeing
we're off
with
of that. We're off of that. I'm talking about Kyle
What?
saying like because you're born in a different time and place, you can't really like you have a skewed sense of what was happening back then. Was like I think that's what Kyle was saying, and I think I'm being fair to Kyle when I say that. But I'm saying like, what does that have to do with what I think about what was happening in society? And Kyle, it's the same situation for you. So like by saying like, hey, you're wrong because you're this way, that's an odd ad hominem. You can't use that in
No,
an argument. Attack
no,
my argument instead of me.
What I'm saying is that in what I've been raised as to, I don't hate people because of what they are or what they think. I want to understand it. If I hate it because of what they understand or what they think. But what I'm admitting is that if I were raised in a society that told me to hate and to kill what wasn't me and wasn't how I felt, I would fucking do it because
Like
that
Nazis.
is how we work.
Yeah,
If
but that's
someone raised me
but-
and told me to hate and kill what was different than me, I
And
would
everyone around
probably
you was
do it.
doing the exact same thing
And
too.
everyone else
Yep.
was fucking feeling the same shit.
Yep.
I would do it. I'm admitting that I
No,
am.
but
a
I'm
bad
saying they
person
probably
that
but
would
okay,
do
but I'm
something like that because my
But-
environment
yeah.
told me to.
so
do
you're
that.
saying anybody could be a Nazi, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes,
Okay,
100%.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Because he no,
But
gonna
what
add
I'm
on to
saying
what
is-
Kyle was saying.
he-
I'm gonna add on to what Kyle was saying because they did an experiment where they had people sitting in a waiting room and then they had fucking beeps go off and they had planted actors that every single time that beep would go off, they would just randomly stand up for like 30 seconds and then sit back down. And then eventually all the fucking actors and actual real people came in when the beep came on. And the person that was there from day one or like round one, because he started doing it too, because he felt, wow, I'm the only one not doing this, so I better start doing it too. So when he started doing it and the new other people came in too, he's like, why are you standing? I was like, because everyone else did it. You know,
It's
it's
just
like,
like
all
when you're
right,
stopped
But
at a
I'm
red
saying,
light
but
and
I'm
you see a
saying like the
car pull
Nazis.
forward and you
But
want
I'm
to pull
saying,
forward.
but I'm saying the Nazis probably still thought it was a bad thing to kill someone. That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
not saying that there wasn't. That probably did too. Yeah, there probably was.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you're
Probably.
agreeing with
There's
me.
even a movie.
You're
Yeah.
agreeing with me. It's
What
probable.
But what it?
we
but-
don't like basing
Probable.
you're basing everything off of probablys though. You're not basing anything off of
Because I
facts.
don't
You're not,
know what the fuck they actually thought, bro. That's
But
why.
you're
Yeah.
saying they probably thought it wasn't okay to kill someone.
because you
And I
don't
don't
know, you
understand
can't
that.
say they probably do or don't if you don't know. Why are you using it as
Well-
an argument for probably or probably not
He's
if
saying-
you don't know either way?
Oh,
Lord, okay.
Is my point.
because that's
I
what
can't-
probably
I
is for.
can't.
Because they probably thought it was okay to kill Jews, but they probably thought it wasn't okay to kill another Nazi.
You
know?
we're all assuming, Lauren. We're all assuming. I'm just using probably because I don't want to. I don't want to like take my word as fact. That's all. Kyle's assuming
Right.
a lot more than me. I'm saying probably because I don't know.
not.
Kyle's saying like, oh, the Nazis thought you're okay.
He wasn't there. He doesn't know either. We don't. Well, none
Okay,
of us
thank-
know. I didn't.
and
We,
that-
we
and
none of
that's
us
why
lived there.
What I'm assuming is more human nature than anything. Is that I would go with whatever was told to me was the right thing. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I don't get. Is what I'm confused on is how you're assuming something different than me. Is that you're assuming that somehow we wouldn't want to kill Jews?
But right. You would probably
Well,
we
why
would probably
not?
all be
If
Nazis,
that's
right?
the culture
But I'm
you
saying,
grew
but what
up
I'm
in.
saying is like, let's circle back so we could have a fucking end to this podcast. What I'm saying is these Nazis probably didn't think it was a bad thing to kill other, or I probably did think it was a bad thing to kill other humans regardless. And when we go back to the Neanderthal days, I'm just saying like, we probably always thought that killing somebody else isn't as good as like keeping them alive or just not killing them. That's
So
what I'm
then-
arguing.
Then how do you justify the 6 million Jews that died if the Nazis didn't think it was okay to kill other people?
Because
That's
It's
a
not-
lot of
you're-
people
you're
to keep
making it-
doing so.
You're making it as in just these people or just these people. We're talking about as humans and all. You can't rule out, okay, am I going to kill my brother? Do I think it's bad to kill him?
And that's where Kyle's saying that it's not people as a whole. They were raised objectively against another group of people. And it was okay to kill
Nathan,
that group
did
of
you
people.
think would you think that these Nazis, or if you were born in Germany, would you think that these people still thought like, hey, killing somebody else is a bad thing?
It depends on the person, though.
Right.
In that
Yeah.
point, in that instance, it
Well, there was
depends on
society
which person you're
then.
talking about, because that society did not view Jews as people, and that's why they were killing them. The same way that it was okay to kill slaves when America was settled and we had slaves, because they didn't view them as people.
I would so I
you
would argue the
can't-
slave argument, like they kept them alive because it was advantageous and because they were slaves.
But
That
then
doesn't
it
mean that
wasn't.
they didn't.
But then when it wasn't advantageous or they ran away, they killed them because it was
Okay,
no longer advantageous
But they
because
don't.
they didn't view them as
But I'm
people.
saying like human nature. I'm saying like human
They
nature.
were humans. It was their nature
But I'm
at that
talking
time.
about human nature. But this is more like a cult-like mentality than anything, honestly. You guys are arguing like this is why cults exist, because somebody could like be this terrible against a human and convince other people to kill them. But I think most of those people and everybody in that cult knows that it's probably a bad thing to kill somebody else, even a Jew.
Did that stop them?
It didn't stop them because
So why didn't it stop?
well.
Okay, if you go fucking
that was
smoke a
pretty
cigarette, you know it's bad for you, but you're gonna do it because you want to do it, right? So
Wait,
it doesn't mean that you're gonna not know it's bad,
And
but you're
that's
gonna
my
do it because everybody else is doing it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Ronnie's
exactly.
Wait,
Right.
Ronnie's arguing my point though.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I'm still saying.
Brownie is definitely arguing Caesar's point right now. He's arguing that just because you know it's a bad thing, you're still gonna do it because you want to do it.
Right.
You still know it's bad.
Meaning
So
these
Caesar's
Nazis
point
probably
is,
still thought it was a bad thing to kill everybody they killed,
Yeah,
but
so
because
But
they
damn,
were in
it
a
feels so
cult,
good, you know.
let's just do
I
it-
don't
let's
know
do a
why they
quick-
did it.
Let's do a quick recap and then let's finish this podcast
Yeah.
because it's been on for about 3 hours. Oh, 2 hours, 3 hours now. Yeah. So Caesar believes that it is in human nature that killing people is a bad thing in general. People just have this thing inside of them that says killing this person is a bad thing. I believe I disagreed with it. Deja Vroom disagreed with it. Nathan disagreed with it. And the reason for that is because we believe that human nature is more of a nurture versus
Nature.
nature thing.
I'd like
So-
to clarify real quick. I don't disagree with that. I feel that people didn't necessarily feel bad about it, but the whole fundamental point was that they felt it was wrong, but didn't go against it. Like
It was
So
like
they-
y'all
they
were
could-
saying the
they
same
could
thing.
justify it. They could justify it. Yeah, they could-
justifiable is my argument.
Right.
It
In-
didn't have
in
anything
that
to do with
sense.
what people felt about it. It's how they did it. What they did.
But wait,
Because
repeat your
to
point
me-
real quick.
To me, what you're doing is more important than what you feel.
So repeat your point. You thought these people were repeat your point real quick, please.
My point is that the people did it because that's what they were supposed to do.
And told.
That's what
Okay.
that's what they were taught, that's what they were told, that's what they were coerced to do. Not that they
You
it
think
doesn't
this.
matter
You
what
think
they
this
feel.
because you're stating it like it's a
doesn't
fact.
matter what they feel.
Okay, but
if
you
you're
think
saying
this.
they don't feel it, it's irrelevant to what they do. Actions speak louder than words. That's
And I actually disagree with Kyle on this one. I believe that they actually felt it was the right thing to do was to kill. Because what Hitler did was that he convinced a lot of the Nazis, a lot of the Germans, that the Jewish people were the cause for all their woes, for all their suffering. So they had just lost
With the
World
economic
War I.
downfall, the war, yeah.
So he convinced the people of Germany that it was
Mhm.
the Jews' fault for everything.
Mhm.
And so they felt it in their hearts as like, hey, these people are fucking screwing us over hard. So they thought and they believed and they felt. This is
Okay.
just from History Channel.
Okay, this is what you think.
One sec,
This
one
is
sec,
your
one sec,
opinion.
one
This
sec.
is your opinion,
Let me-
just to make sure.
Let me
This
just
is
point one thing out.
fact.
Let me just point
It's
one
a
thing out.
fact. It's
I
not
No,
an
agree
it's
with
opinion.
no,
the
it's an
fact.
opinion. It's
listen,
opinion.
Listen, I agree with what Tickleware says on this one. But the people who committed the actual atrocities, the actual people who killed them out in the fields, what did they feel? That is the penultimate feel. Because
There's gonna be
people
mixed
that are
feelings.
detached from the actual violence of killing them is completely different than the people that did the killing.
Mhm.
Okay, did you think the people that killed the Jews were bad people?
Not if they thought they were doing the right thing.
Okay, well,
No.
we're gonna no. Okay,
Yes
thank you
and
for.
no. Yes and
okay.
no. I mean, what,
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
how do I
that's-
answer that? Yeah, how
That's
do I
a
answer
really
that?
hard question
It's a
because
yes
That's
and
a
no.
lot of people to
You don't
judge
know.
blankly.
Can
You
we
don't know
save
how
this
they
for
felt.
another fucking time?
Yeah,
Let's just
that's what-
open up
that's
the
what I
whole
was gonna
Nazi
say.
thing.
It's okay.
I
I
can give you guys a reading recommendation on this one.
we'll save it for the next pod, but we gotta end here shortly.
Mein Kampf?
Please, I'm
So-
fucking.
Okay, but just to
Everyone
clarify,
should
this
pajamas.
is opinion. This is opinion. Nothing here is fucking fact. Besides,
Hitler did convince a lot of people that the Jews
he
were
did.
the problem.
yes,
That's
Yes,
not
he
a that's
did.
not an opinion. That's a fact.
All right, well, Ordinary Men by Christopher
Yes.
Browning.
all we can be is ordinary men.
but what was he's saying? What he was saying?
I agreed with what he was saying because he
Okay.
is saying
Yeah,
that's
let
it.
me just finish.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up,
just-
though.
yeah,
yeah.
Let me just finish this up and let's get this podcast over with. But so basically, a lot of us disagree with each other on
Hey, Doug, what's
little
up? How
small
are you?
things. The biggest thing is, do people believe that killing another person is bad or good? Some people say no. Some people say
Doug?
yes. It's all.
Doug,
personal
thanks for the
opinions.
sub.
I do
Oh my
want
God,
to,
with the
hit on
2-month
this a little
streak,
bit,
holy
just
shit,
because
you
I
got
do
that
think
little
it's very
fucking-
important. Caesar, no one or
You got
no
the
one
Vegeta?
thinks less of you.
Vegeta
No one
boy?
is attacking your character. Everyone thinks you're a great person. I personally do as well.
I love you, Doug.
No, well, I had an
Disagree.
issue with
Yeah,
that.
I
Let,
did it
let me
because of
explain why
your
I had an issue with it. It's
videos,
because you guys are attacking me. Like I could,
No, I'm not.
but you guys, but you
Here,
were.
Doug.
Um,
No,
and-
you
You
were.
may
mustache
feel
is
like
awesome,
you were.
Doug.
Nobody was.
I'm gonna talk
trying
over
to
them
attack you.
because they
we
can't hear
can
me.
Refine the wad. I
And
know
my
you guys are
mustache and your
attacking me.
mustache
You guys
should
are
meet in the
attacking my
middle.
argument. I want this to be constructive
You're
and
a
attack my
name
Yeah,
calling.
it'd be
action.
alright.
What do
A lot of
you
Rex
feel
would be
like
alright.
Hell.
I don't have to be in rag right
Hey,
now.
hey, everyone just shut up. Everyone just
Can I
shut
just
up.
get my fucking statement out? God,
Yeah, let
fucking
Caesar
damn it,
talk.
Jesus
Let him-
fucking
let-
Christ!
Let him talk. What do you
Uh,
feel like was attacking you?
I'm gonna rewind the VOD if you guys really want me to, but I'm saying like attack my argument instead of saying like, oh, this is because you think this way because you were born in a different time. Like no fucking shit.
Okay, well, first of all, you asked the question. Everyone is going to have their own opinions, and when opinions come into play, people tend to get passionate about their specific opinion, especially our group for whatever reason. So
Okay,
they're not.
but I'm not saying, hey Kyle, you're probably fucking retarded because you come from
Hey,
this X, Y, and Z.
Word,
So that's why I'm
is attacking somebody's character right there.
Okay,
you're
that's
just
what I'm
calling
saying.
him retarded.
Exactly.
He said he's not
Okay.
saying that.
And plus, I'm giving.
You personally.
I'm giving an example. I'm giving an example. I don't actually think you're. I actually don't think you're the R word. I'm just giving an example. Jesus fucking
I know,
Christ.
but I'm just saying you
I would
can't
be okay
say the
with it.
word.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry. We said it. Go ahead.
I'm okay with it. I love you.
I love you too, Ami. But I was
But
trying.
I think my
that's why I
point is
was
nobody
trying to
said
elaborate.
that to you.
I'll pull it up in the VOD. But go ahead. Let's end this. Let's end this.
Okay, so
So that we
a
can
lot of
bitch at each other
of
in
shit
chat
going on here today.
without
Hope
everyone
you
seeing.
I just want to be
viewers-
more constructive. That's all.
I love it. I love all this.
I just want to be more.
Yeah,
Hope
it
you
is.
viewers enjoyed our very, very intense conversation. We had a lot of disagreements. We had a lot of agreements. Overall, we're all going to be friends. Don't worry. We're all going to stick together. We're all diamond dogs. Don't you worry about that.
Actually, could have never talked to these guys again.
So we're going to kick Shafty out. Let's just remember to do that next VOD. All right. So, but you know,
I
we're
will
all
be put on
friends. We all
trial.
care
Thanks,
about each
chat.
other. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight's podcast.
Tattletales.
and We all hope to see you next time, next week on Wednesday. Thank you and have a great night.
Can't wait to execute Shaft.
I shall get on my
Big
thing
ass
here.
cup Lauren got, yeah. Okay, goodbye. Love you.
You guys slice my head up?